This version of It's Eric Nagel has been modified from its original broadcast. Content has been edited to fit this platform.
Believe none of what you hear and half of what you see.
It's Eric Nagel. And it starts now.
I don't believe it! I just don't understand! Why am I doing this? This stinks. It makes me glad I'm dead. Oh, and if Groucho was here, he'd hate it too. He'd say,
well, back in my day, we would do YouTube, which was a place where people would post terrible content.
anyway, I wasn't paid for this, but screw it. Ladies and gentlemen of the universe, the next voice you hear, it's Eric Nagel.
Well, thank you, Gilbert Gottfried. Welcome to the program, everybody. I am Eric Nagel, and over there, joining me, as always, from the frozen tundra of Arizona, say hello to Jordan.
Hi, everybody.
Another show here for you today. If you're listening on the iHeartRadio app, thank you very much for doing so. If you're listening to us on demand at your convenience, say on Apple, Spotify, things like that, do us a kindness. Go over there, leave us a positive review. It does help out the program. And if you want to join us live as we do the show each and every week, head over to our live rooms on YouTube and on Twitch, both under the moniker It's Eric Nagel. And if you want to see the videos, if you're on the audio and you want to see the videos that maybe you've missed of like, oh, I heard the audio version, I should have seen the video version. Yes, you should have. Go over and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We have it over there for you for your convenience. You can see the entire produced episode. Jordan, how are you, my friend?
I'm all right. I'm just, like I said, I'm glad the world's ending because I have done nothing this week. It has been slow. I've been dealing with family stuff, but other than that, it's just been a week of nothing on my end.
Yeah, I was thinking about
kind of crazy.
I was thinking about that too. I was like, all right, I was making notes and we were doing prep and stuff. I was like, what did I do? What going through? I don't have a lot here to do. Did I do much this week? Why am I not remembering? And I go, oh, that's right. The world is going on right now, and I just didn't do anything this week. Not that it's a bad thing, but usually that doesn't happen. I have stories. I have little anecdotes of things that are happening in our lives.
Lately. Yeah. Nothing. Just put some braces on the kid and went to meet the teacher, which is weird being it's July, but other than that, nothing. Yeah, it's. I'm glad like I said, glad the world's imploding. We have nothing else to talk about.
It's a hell of a year that we're having this week. Like everything happened within the last week or so. So much to comment on here. Let's get some show stuff out of the way before we get into any of this other nonsense here. The posters that we promised last week, they were available. Let me see if I can bring up the artwork so you can see it right there. We had the posters available, and we told you how you could reach out to get yourself one of these posters. Well, I have some good news, or maybe some bad news, depending on how you look at it. The first run of the posters, all gone. They're done and they're spoken for. So
very cool.
We will reevaluate this, see if we do a second run of the posters, but for now, they're all gone. They came in, they look amazing, and they were all gone and spoken for about 3 days after the show. Everybody's like, I want one, send me one, whatever you got to do. Great. We took your names, they're packing them up, and they should be shipping them out, I think next week they're going out. So depending where you live, that will determine how fast they get to you.
How quickly get them.
Yeah.
I was going to say, on the back of each one, you should have written some little piece of like some kind of like Zodiac killer kind of manifesto and make everybody try to collect them all to decipher your message.
Right.
Which at the end of the day will just be drink more Ovaltine.
Well, unfortunately, this time around, it was all tracing hand turkeys and saying thanks for listening. So
I hope you did that. Like right over the top of the picture too, so it just ruins the entire image.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I got a hand turkey.
It's like, wait a minute. So you can say it's ruining the poster. I'm thinking, way to make it better.
Right. It's personal artwork.
Indeed. So where to begin with all of this?
Right.
Oh yeah, we also updated the summer playlists.
Yep.
Eric's version and Jordan's version. Oh, I think I forgot to update yours. I started yours. Okay. And then the world happened. So I got to get back and finish updating, at least on the Spotify end. The Apple Music end, yours is all up to date.
I was going to say, we have this fun little bit where I don't subscribe to Spotify. Eric doesn't subscribe to Apple. So we have to constantly exchange what we've added and then get to actually doing it. So
go over on Spotify or Apple Music. Look up for the It's Eric Nagel Summertime playlist. They're not called that. We're just being cute and clever. Hi. This is so right there. You go to the... look up the IEN playlist and you'll see Eric's version, you'll see Jordan's version, and then you can listen to them both at your leisure. And then feel free to hit us up on social media and tell us which ones were better and why, and verbally chastise the other.
Let's not start some fight. No more infighting.
Okay. All right. Fine. Be that way. Where do we start? Do we want to get into just like some sports stuff real quick, just to get the light out of the way before we get into we could do some
doom and gloom of the world?
I didn't know we had any sports stuff, but yeah, we could do some sports stuff. Oh, let's add to the sports stuff to start off with. Last week, we went on a bit of a deep dive about minor league baseball. Who knew that minor league baseball was actually more exciting than what the MLB is putting out nowadays, right?
I know.
So I have was not expecting to, but I went on a bit of a shopping spree, and I purchased garments fit to be wed in from the Tri-City Chili Peppers, who do the Cosmic Baseball.
Okay.
The Savannah Bananas, got a couple shirts from them. And then I got this Dayglow purple and green shirt from the Portland Pickles. I'm very excited about these purchases.
Now, I don't want to throw another wrinkle into this and possibly make you buy more stuff. Have you thought of going and looking up the Albuquerque Isotopes?
Oh, yeah, but they don't have licensed
Simpsons
official stuff, do they?
I'll check on their website right now.
All right, you do that. So I bought the shirts. I'm waiting for they're going to take a little while to come in. And I was thinking about it, how goofy they are. And it reminded me of GTA 4 and 5. When they came out, the promotional materials that they had for it, they were making weird shirts because they can't use real names or real products and properties in the game. So they would make up their own versions of stuff. And then you would have the shirts in the games, and then they started putting them out in promotional materials in real life. So you had all these T-shirts with these weird like sports teams and computer names, and like the what was the big cult in GTA 5? The Epsilon something.
Oh, that's right.
Right?
God, it's been so long.
The Epsilon something. I'm not remembering, but they had the shirts, they had statues, they had all of that fun stuff. And looking at these shirts when they're coming in, I go, oh, it looks just like their video game shirts. So,
was it the Altruists? And then they had the Epsilon program.
The Epsilon program. That was the big religious cult for that. See, Tom from Alberta are jumping in already knows. Fruit phone, yes.
Fruit phone, yeah.
Because they couldn't have Apple. It was just a little bowl with a bundle of fruit. And, wait, didn't they just say that they're delaying GTA 6 again?
I hope not. Let me look.
Well, I'll look that up. You take care of the isotopes thing.
Oh, I got it already.
Oh, you do.
I'll put a link. Yeah. Get the isotopes.
It says, well, I guess according to here, it says GTA 6 is currently lined up for an autumn of 2025 release for Xbox and PlayStation, according to the publishers, while the PC won't be likely to land until later in 2026, which is bullshit. Because, the consoles and everything. All right, fine. But all your gaming and streaming clips are the PC people that are on Twitch and on Kick and all those places that get that content out there more than the consoles do. So it's like, we're going to wait another 6 months before you get access to all of that stuff.
Yeah, but that's not unheard of. A lot of companies have done that lately, especially with some game releases where they want to focus on the console release, get that out, because most likely that's where your higher market is going to be, and then they start doing the PC stuff.
Right.
I guess that line's kind of blurring more with the ability to put on Steam Deck and all these other things. So maybe that has shifted a little bit, but I still think that people really are trying to focus on getting the the console market taken care of.
Right.
Especially since they're going to be, 4 or 5 years into this console run before they even release something.
I know.
So
See, I don't even care. The whole console wars thing is dumb because if you
It
just
is.
have a computer or like you have Stream Deck,
yeah, Steam
it's a
Deck, yeah.
handheld thing that's constantly updating based on the games that come out. So you don't need a centralized thing. I mean, I guess Nintendo, because that's always been their model. But Xbox and PlayStation just should be working more on. And look, you can't play most of these games without a connection to the internet anyway. Not that you go online, but it won't play if it doesn't have an internet connection. Like, you can't just turn it on and play it, contained on your console. It has to be connected. So just put it out there on these platforms where everybody's playing more so instead of, I don't know, the whole thing is just ridiculous. And then they all complain when, oh, this company bought that studio and bought this studio. Oh, wait, we don't have any money. Oh, the government's got to step in and say, you're a monopoly. We got to break this thing up here. And then games get delayed forever, and then everyone's mad. Everyone's mad. This is the isotopes that you just sent me here?
Yep.
Okay, let's take a look at this. So this is the... Where's this? New Mexico?
Albuquerque.
Albuquerque, New Mexico. The isotopes here. There's merch. They have another team, Mariachis?
I guess so, the mariachis.
Let's look the isotopes here. Yeah, this doesn't really look...
Now, I want that green chili cheeseburger.
I was just going to say, this looks the stupidest out of all of it, and of course you like it. Why do you want the green chili cheeseburger?
No, I would never buy it. I just think it's funny.
If we got you this, would you wear this? You'd have to wear this on the show.
I mean, I would.
All right.
I don't want to.
I am not really... Oh, look, they're doing a Breaking Bad tie-in.
Of course.
Lovely.
Free meth.
I'm not really liking this. Oh, here's their attempt at tie into The Simpsons.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought they would be a little bit more Simpsons-related kind of tie-ins, even briefly like in that T-shirt, but I'm not seeing a whole lot.
Yeah, none of this looks good.
No, I think you were better off with the bananas and the pickles.
Yeah.
It is funny, though.
It would be great if it was just like a hand holding like a uranium rod as it's glowing.
It's a carbon rod.
Yeah, I would have bought that. Yeah, this doesn't look that good. Let me see. Shop mariachis. Oh, the Day of the Dead.
Yeah, some of that stuff looks
kind of
cool.
logo looks okay, but I'll give them this. It's different compared to Major League Baseball mascots and looks and logos and what have you. So I'll give them that. I don't think I want any of this, though.
I think the minor league baseball teams have really leaned into having fun mascots and weird mascots and stuff like that. Like there's a team with like the fighting shrimp or the jumbo shrimp or something like that.
Right.
I think there's a team in Texas, might be El Paso, that has the Chihuahuas. And it's like, these are not imposing mascots. These are just fun mascots. Oh yeah, the Jacksonville jumbo shrimp.
I mean, probably better than their NFL franchise team, but
right.
Yeah, I don't think I want any of this stuff. Oh well. At least we tried.
Do you want to hear something really funny about merchandise I just found out today, which will lead into some of the other stuff?
We continue with other sports because you wanted to talk
other sports real quick.
Team.
So this is part of the Coyotes fund that I'm dealing with. I read a report today that the former Coyotes management had to clear out and buy back all the merchandise that was at the arena for ASU, Mullet Arena.
Mm-hmm.
And then they immediately donated brand new jerseys and everything to the local Goodwills and shouldn't have. So they're trying to recover some of the stuff that they sent off to these Goodwill stores all over the valley.
Why?
They're stupid.
No, like why did they have to return it?
I don't know. I think they knew that they should probably
they can't write it off. That's probably why.
Yeah. So that's part of it. And then a lot of people are judging the new arena in Utah.
In Utah, yeah.
Apparently, the arena that they're putting them in right now is 10,000 seats, which is about 4,000 more than what the other arena was holding.
Okay.
And there's a lot more seats, but it's very obstructed. So people are saying they went from one bad arena to another, and it's a huge debacle. The owner of the Coyotes didn't win the land deal they put it on hold, so he just dropped out. So now the Coyotes don't technically have an owner. So that could be a good thing. I'm thinking it's a good thing because now we don't have to wait for his dumbass to screw it up. Somebody else can buy the rights. We can maybe get a deal with some of the former players. Shane Doan is big here in the Valley, loves the Valley, wants to keep it here. So hopefully some good news out of that. But yeah, it's just the more that keeps happening with this, the worse it just keeps getting. And I'm like,
it'd be fun.
Never get my team back.
After all this pomp and circumstance about the unceremonious leaving of your hockey team to go to Utah, they fuck it up so bad that they have to take it back to here.
They've been doing like online polls
Utah.
to name it.
Yeah.
Like the logo that and the colors leaked well before they announced the new stuff.
It's like,
just
it looks like ice, right? Isn't it? Like
it's like it's like a baby powder blue with like black, whatever. I'm over it. I'm just going to be a Seattle's Kraken fan now.
I mean, I am. Their merchandise looks great, and I don't.
The merch should be great.
I don't really care about their team at all, but their merchandise looks fantastic.
Yeah. So that's been that thing. I just found it funny that, like, after all this, brand new jerseys, these things run $200 a piece, were just dumped at local Goodwills. I'm like, shit, do I need to go like searching for this stuff?
There it is. This is kind of what they did with the Redskins when the Redskins had to drop their name and they just became the Washington Football Team, which is still a better name than, what are they now, the Commanders?
Commanders, yeah.
Just to being the Washington Football Team?
Washington Football Team would have been great to keep going with.
Yeah. But you have the Utah Hockey Club, which makes it sound like it's from Europe.
Yeah, they're talking it's possibly going to be the Yetis. It could be, I don't know. They just, whatever.
If they were smart and they tied in Yeti cups, Yeti coolers, all that, like that's the main at Yeti Stadium.
Be smart.
Could
you imagine they name it the Yetis and then Stanley comes in and buys the naming rights of the stadium?
Oh man,
just to circumvent Yeti altogether.
Look how shitty this
I know.
shirt looks like when you go to a printing website and they show you examples of what you can do for your corporate. Throw your corporate or business logo here.
At the bottom of it, it should say Lorem Ipsum because they just didn't have the actual like writing. It's just the standard.
And what's that tag on the shirt that means it's terrible? Guardian?
Oh God,
Gibson,
yes.
Whatever it's called.
Gildan. Yeah, I think it's Gildan.
I saw, and we'll get to this in a little bit too, but I saw all the links showing up on Twitter of people making the shirts with that photo of Trump who's holding his hand up and everything.
Like within a day.
And you're looking at the shirts and they're not just like the art version that you would see like on a made print to order kind of website. They're hanging in hangers in certain stores. And you look at it, and the tag hanging out says the Gildan or Giddin or whatever. Wait, I see Hollywood Agent Rob starts.
I think Glidden is
Gildan heavy cotton. You're seeing the Gildan tags on this, and I just go, not that I want the shirt, but if I did, I wouldn't buy the shirt just because of the tag, not what's on the actual shirt. It's the company that makes that. Ugh. You're wearing burlap essentially. It's terrible.
Right. Yeah.
Well, all right. So you don't have a hockey team, and they still suck, even though they moved to a different market. Good on them.
Yeah.
What else is going on here? So, touching on sports a little bit more, the Olympics are starting next week in Paris. On July 26th will be the opening ceremonies, aired on NBC here in these United States. Does this get over? I'm trying to think. Does the attention on the Olympics overtake everything else that's been going on, or does that get pushed to the wayside and the election is still just going to be the top priority for the next 16 weeks?
You and I talked about the Olympics the other night, and both of us had no idea when they were officially starting. We had to look it up. And then I posed the question, do you know any U.S. athlete in the Olympics other than, you said Simone Biles is coming back?
That's not what I said. I said, who was the one that quit and cried and then left and then came back again, and now they're calling it her glorious return.
Well, mine was more PC, but yes, you're right.
It's not PC. It's what she did. She couldn't handle it. She cried. She left. People said, don't make fun of her. You couldn't do it. No, I couldn't do it. But that's her job. That was her life. That's all of their lives, to work that hard to qualify to get there. And she choked. So
Either way,
world
but
stage.
yeah, she's the only one in the U.S. side of things that I know of.
Right.
And this is probably the least talked about,
There's
probably
nobody.
least important Olympics that I can remember being the last couple of years. And it's weird.
It is weird because we also said too. I'm trying to remember who does all the Olympic outfits. Is it Nike that
I think
provides
it was
all the
Nike.
clothing? Right.
Yeah.
You would see at least a month leading up to the Olympics, Nike would be going crazy with whatever athletes they were going to feature. And then you knew who the big stars were for the American team before the Olympics even started. You know, going back to the late 80s when they had Dan versus Dan, and then one of the Dans failed to qualify, so didn't make it to the team, and Nike's whole campaign went kaput. But then you had like Florence Griffin Joyner, Mary Lou Henner, trying to think the men's United States basketball team in 1992. Like, you had an idea of some of the names.
Well, just think of the hype behind Michael Phelps the last
the last
Olympics,
two,
with
the
him
previous
being like the
Olympics,
most decorated Olympian, and there's nobody like that right now.
Yeah,
there's no one for us to get behind.
Greg Louganis, I mean, famous going into and coming out of the Olympics for different
he doesn't
reasons.
remember it, but
but yeah, this going in here, I don't know anybody. And I saw, because every now and then, you know, I have the TV on and then you walk away and do other shit and you forget the TV's on. But I saw like NBC would have the qualifying competitions for track and field, for gymnastics, for whatever, in place of real programming, because that's all they got. And they had a couple of guys, I think, for the track team, and then one got kicked out recently. Like, I don't even know the name.
Oh, wow.
He was an odds-on favorite from what I remember, and then he was having a problem that he may not be able, even though he qualified, he couldn't compete. Still don't know his name, though, and you'd think that'd be a big enough story, like, oh my God, he got onto the team, and now there's some minor issue, maybe, I don't think it's a scandal, but maybe something that's preventing him from doing all this stuff, and you still don't know the names, even though they just told you and showed you a photo of the guy on the TV, and I still don't remember any of this stuff. So, yeah, we're going in blind pretty much, other than, you know, Simone Biles. Is that her name?
Yeah.
Other than her, which is what, like, the Today Show and all the news and all the talk shows make a big deal, is say what you want about any of the American athletes. The last several Olympics, the main focus has been the women's gymnastics team. Like, that's been that's even been bigger than the basketball.
Right, which still has a ton of big names like Stephen Curry, Anthony Davis, Kevin Durant. Like, these are big names going on to be the men's basketball team, and no one cares about that either.
Right.
I think there was some news about women's basketball with Caitlin Clark not being on there, which is fine. She's a rookie. I get it. But, I mean, there has been no big stories about this. Like,
and that wasn't even because of like recent events or, you know, the political climate, you know, dominating a lot of the headlines and stuff in this country. It had nothing even to do with that, like pushing things out of the headlines because everything's been Trump and Biden. It wasn't even that. It's like that was a big deal for a while, that when she didn't win the college, the NCAA tournament, but then she got drafted into the WNBA, and then it was all about how, I guess, people in the WNBA don't like her, so she's getting roughed up a bit. And then she didn't make the Olympic team, so there was this outrage by like 12 people that she didn't get on. But when they explain it, it's like, yeah, she just got to the league. She shouldn't be able to go into this thing yet. Yeah. And then it quickly went away. Like, nobody's talking. Remember, everybody was all about WNBA is on the rise. Now everyone's going to be talking about the WNBA. And that lasted a couple weeks. Yeah. For modern day attention spans and news cycles, that's quite a feat. That it lasted that long and then went away. No one cares about it. So I'm excited. I do love watching the Olympics. I'll watch the opening ceremonies, and then I don't really have anybody to pay attention to other than whatever Team USA is going to do. But you can just pop on or look online, and you can see the medal count. You'll get your highlights off of Twitter and Instagram. Don't really need to sit there and watch it, I don't think. And plus, you're not getting it live.
I liked track and field stuff. Like, I like all that stuff. I have no one to like. I mean, obviously, if I root for my country, but I have no particular person to like sit there and focus on. So I don't know. I'll catch it, but I'm not going to go out of my way to watch it.
Right.
I can care less about swimming. I have no one to watch. You know, it's one of those things where
the only thing that looked cool, and I don't know why they were showing it other than I guess it looked cool, was that they built the beach volleyball sets right under
sets.
I mean, I don't know what to call it because it's not on the beach. So
courts.
It's a set at this point because they put it right under the Eiffel Tower in Paris so that they could always have that one static shot.
Well, that's kind of cool.
Like, you know, chicks in bikinis playing volleyball, and then you see the Eiffel Tower right behind it. You know, great television. But
right.
Other than that, who knows? I don't know. You got the opening ceremonies. I'll watch that, and then we'll see where we are next week. Because who knows what's going to be happening next week when we come on board. Like, this week has been enough with what's been going on. Look, we don't usually talk politics on this show, but the events of the last week...
Has it been a week?
Have almost a week, have overshadowed everything. Everything. Like, that's all anyone's talking about. That's all anyone's reporting. Other than Wolverine starts next week. Deadpool and Wolverine. It's all about the assassination attempt on Trump. It's all about the RNC going on this week currently, and Biden now announcing that he has COVID. Tweeted out, "I'm sick," in one tweet.
And then followed up.
Yeah, but here's what's funny. Nobody really looked at the second part of that, the response tweet to it.
At least give me a dot,
it just goes,
dot.
"I'm sick." And everyone started posting, not just like people, but entertainment outlets, the news posted, like, what's going on? Didn't see the response tweet that says, "Of Elon Musk and billionaires buying this election, please click here to donate." Like, whoever is running his account, because it's not the president's account, it's the Joe Biden itself account. Horrible way of handling all that, because I looked, it's like 166 million views for the one and maybe 14 million for the second part of it, which was where you're getting your money and asking for donations for your campaign and what have you. You totally buried the lead on all of this. So Biden has COVID, and not playing conspiracy stuff here, but it's all right in front of you looking at the news. A lot of people have been asking since that debate, the one debate that they did, Biden has not looked good publicly, both physically and just overall appearance of being the president, and has had a lot of people in the Democratic Party over time been saying, "I think he needs to step down. I don't think we're going to win. I think he's not fit to move." Whatever the reason is, right?
Right.
Not picking sides, just saying what's been going on. And he had a little press conference or something that said that he would only step aside if medically he had to, something along those lines. I'm paraphrasing, but if it was medically necessary for him to step by, that'd be the only way he'd leave the race. And then like a day or two later, all of a sudden he has COVID, and he's at home isolating at his house in Delaware. And as of today, when we're recording and streaming the show, a few hours before this, all of a sudden it started saying, this is where you knew it was getting serious, because you had governors and senators and congressmen, whatever, for the Democrats saying, "Hey, this person said I think he should step down," or this part, it's like, "I'm concerned about the president, he should step down." They threw Obama's name out there now, so it said Obama is even saying that Joe should move on from this, step aside, but hasn't talked to him at least this is what 1010 Wins told me, that he hasn't spoke to him directly, but I guess it's been released that this was an official statement.
Yeah.
So
he's urging him to reconsider his position.
Right.
So it's not going to the point of like saying you need to drop out. It's like, hey, is this really serving the greater good? Like trying to really appeal to his more patriotism than just straight up saying, "You're old, please stop this." And
right.
we gotta do
so,
this.
This isn't like anything conspiracy thing. It's all right there. Like the news is telling you this is happening.
Right.
So he said the medical comment. It's like, I can't step aside unless it's medically necessary. Then all of a sudden gets COVID. Now the bigger names for the DNC are starting to speak on this, where they were all supporting him a few days ago, like, we stand behind him. Now they're all like, maybe this isn't the thing. Is this the way of him saving face? Like, I don't know how this works out. Is it just going to be like he has COVID and then by Monday he's back on the campaign trail? Or is this the way of him saving face, that they said, we're going to say he has COVID, he'll isolate for a few days, then he'll announce that he's not running anymore, and then they figure out what they're going to do?
Well, I mean, right now the rumor is that we probably have a reason, or at least an update by this weekend.
Yeah.
I think the COVID thing, if it's true, that's terrible. However, looks bad on him, because he has been very much, if you get the vaccine, you don't get COVID. And he has been on the forefront of getting the vaccine, and now he's got COVID. So by doing this, you're going to get a lot of people judging him for that and saying, see, we were right. So you're pushing one agenda now,
right,
where people are going to attack from that angle.
But see, that's the thing. This scenario isn't agenda. This is, how do we get him? How do we save face? How do we get him out of the elect? Here's something else that I didn't know about too. Hold on a second, stupid Rob. I got it. It's funny, but Hollywood agent Rob Stark. Eric gets his most relevant news information from a station that does traffic on the 10s. They do it on the 1s, first of all. 2, it's the most listened to news talk station in the country. Thank you very much. This is just, it's a way of, like, I think, saving face with
possible.
This. They delayed, I was hearing today too, they delayed their, I don't know, see, a lot of the convention shit just looks so outdated. Even watching the Republican stuff this week, it just looks like a party from a time that has long been gone. And like the decorations, the floor layouts, it just looks so antiquated. Their digital roll call, which I'm not 100% sure what that really entails. I guess that's just all the delegates and stuff checking in. They're delaying that till August 7th. And I think the DNC was supposed to be when? Next week?
No, they delayed it to August 19th, and it's going to run through August 22nd.
When was it originally scheduled for?
Let's see.
Because I know everything got delayed now, but
I think they pushed it out possibly about a week or two.
Okay.
So they wouldn't have done it back to back with the RNC. They need that breathing room, but to have it this far in advance, it's like a whole month in advance, like a gap. So yeah, I don't know what's happening on that end. I'm seeing in the chat there people saying, they heard that Biden will be gone by this weekend. I don't know. That's the thing. I'm not jumping to conclusions. I'm not pushing for either way. I'm just trying to figure out. I'm like, again, this isn't anything like a conspiracy theory. This was laid out in front of you, and you saw this coming if you just watched the news. I'm not going to do this unless it's a medical thing. A couple days later, he's got a medical thing. Now, are we going to hear? Because he's like, they just drew it out for you. I think using COVID as the medical reason is probably a lot better than saying he has physically declined over the last year. Because had they done this last year, we would have had a bigger tail to try to get a new candidate in place on the Democratic side, move forward, try to campaign that way, and go into the DNC strong. But now you've got a candidate that has been saying, I'm not dropping out. And now we got at a point where everybody, from celebrity to their own party, are saying, look, you can't keep doing this. Well, remember you're last doing week, this a disservice. The big story was, and this was before the Trump incident, George Clooney, who's always been a big moneymaker and fundraiser for Democratic candidates, came out and said, Joe shouldn't be doing this. Like, George had some information that everybody else wasn't having at the time. Yeah. But he's just like, this, he shouldn't be doing this. And then he got a lot of shit from other people in Hollywood. They're like, what are you doing? No, we have to stand by him. And then little by little, who was it? Not Carl. Rob Reiner, who is notoriously anti-Trump. Yes, but he's pro-Democrat, but he's very outspoken. That aside, he's just super annoying on Twitter. He really is. But he even said, too, where I know he's always hated Trump. He wanted nothing to do with Trump, but he was... when he started turning and you started seeing the bigger mouthpieces for that side and going, yeah, I don't know, maybe we should consider, or maybe they'll,
cooler heads will prevail once those in the know just figure out how this is gonna, like, when they start backing off, you're like, oh, this is something. Then all of this happened this week, so that's interesting. I do want to point this out. I have a video clip here that's hilarious for a different reason. So Saturday, the events of Saturday last week, everybody knows this. Donald Trump was speaking in Butler, Pennsylvania, and an assassination attempt had happened where he got skimmed in the ear, and then reading all the breakdowns and stuff.
Did he, though? I'm canceled.
All right. I'm going to give out his home phone number, folks. You call Jordan and you tell him.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, Jordan's fired from his job. So
I'm not calling for his death. I'm just saying, did he, though?
No, it doesn't matter. Just once they have your information, it doesn't matter what you said. Now they're like, you need to get fired from your job at Home Depot. So that happened. And then there's just been all of this... it's not even, I mean, there's some speculation, but a lot of it's being overanalyzed, and rightfully, rightfully it should, about how do the, damn it, see, YouTube
$1 million podcast here.
Somebody's cutting me off because my mic's dying there. How did he get on the roof? How did he even get that close? How did nobody do it? So that's all being evaluated right now.
Oh yeah, finger pointing everywhere. So I think now there's a congressional committee that's going to happen where they're examining the Secret Service about how this was handled, and I think that was just announced today that there's going to be some sort of investigation into the preparation. And then, like, Secret Service is blaming the local cops, and the local cops are having issues with other things. And the local cops came out and they were like, "Yeah, we go where Secret Service tells us to go. So if we weren't there, it's because of the lack of communication and instruction." And I'm sitting there going, so everyone's pointing fingers at everybody else to not take any blame for the complete breakdown. Because when you look at it, how was someone able to get on a building in that plane shot? Like, say what you want, however you feel about the guy. Can I interrupt
real quick?
Go right ahead.
As the time we're doing this, take a look at who's speaking right now at the RNC.
I knew it, brother. Co-host of the I'll Watch It Later podcast, Scott. He does a terrible... Oh, my God. Here it comes. Look at this. Do we have audio?
And they tried to kill the next president of the United States. Enough
here it comes.
Was enough. And I said, let Trumpomania run wild.
Trumpomania.
Trumpomania rule again. Let Trumpomania make America.
They got to play the Real American music now.
I hope that's how he came out to Real American. Oh, my God. This man was selling beer at Walmart not 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. This is fucking wild.
Look, when I joke and I make, look at that giant Tampax. You know what that looks like? It looks like one of those packets that you find in shoe boxes to stop with the moisture. I don't understand how this becomes such a farce anymore. Like, he's doing wrestling bits.
I just had to give you a little taste.
He should have put him as his VP pick.
My name is Terry Bollea, and as an entertainer,
he's breaking kayfabe.
Oh shit!
That's going to be all over the wrestling dirt sheets today.
Breaking news.
Stay out of politics. But after everything,
apparently before him, I think Linda McMahon was up there speaking. Now, as crazy as this is, this is ridiculous, but it makes sense because Hogan and wrestling have been tied in with Trump forever. Like, Trump was one of the first promoters to take a chance on wrestling.
Yeah.
Back when it was in its not its heyday, but when it was growing.
Yeah.
They did WrestleMania 4 or 5 at the Trump Marina in Atlantic City. He's always been involved in promoting wrestling. Now UFC. He even wrestled in one of the WrestleManias, that billionaire versus billionaire match. So this kind of makes sense. It's ridiculous. I understand, but it's hilarious. And I'm actually kind of happy to see this.
It's just a joke. It's all a joke.
Flashback.
Oh no.
I just had a flashback, man. This is really tripping. You know, the last time
if he's all fucked up.
Donald Trump was sitting at ringside at the Trump Plaza. I was bleeding like a pig, and I won the world title right in front of Donald J. Trump.
Fuck, love him or hate him, I would kill to have fucking Terry Bollea's arms right now. Those fucking still look strong as hell.
Remember, you and I were talking about the first night of the RNC, and we said, hey, you know, they were showing him backstage before they made the... I'm like, they should have taken a page from wrestling. You don't see him. The screens are showing graphics and everything. You build up the crowd with a hype guy, and then you hit the music. He walks out to, like, you know, shadows and lights and all that shit he walks through. And
no, he does the shit The Rock's been doing, where you see lightning strike, and then there's just Trump standing on stage like... I got this.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
I'm curious now, because how the DNC, once they figure out who's going to be there, right? If they have other celebrities come out there, it's not going to mean as much of as far as being a farce, a spectacle. You had Amber Rose the other day. If you don't know her, she's famous for dating Kanye West and being half naked all the time. She was out there talking about how she used to be a Democrat, came over, and now the Republicans are her people. They're just getting weird people. They had the head of the Teamsters Union.
Yeah.
The first night going out there shitting, and it was weird because it's a weird juxtaposition for how the Republican Party feels with about corporations and tax cuts and all that other shit. And he's coming out there shitting on Amazon, on Elon, on Walmart, all these big American corporations. It's been wild.
Yeah.
It has.
They've thrown everything at Donald Trump.
Lucy Moody. So at DNC, where's Tiny Zeus Lester? Yes, he's going to show up there.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
And he's still standing and kicking their butts.
It's when the Undertaker music hits.
Yeah.
Comes out, and they just start wrestling.
Well, I mean, Dana White's fully backing him, and I'm sure, WWE's backing them, or the parent company that owns it now, TKO, is backing him. But, this is just insane. This is okay. It's wrestling.
But here's the thing, like, and this is what I've said about everything that keeps happening. Does this change people's minds? Like, you've said that the assassination attempt will kind of break those lines of the people that maybe didn't want to vote.
I said a percentage. I'm not saying look, there's a decent percentage, and the news has been breaking it down better than we can ever could. There's a percentage out there that are still sort of undecided or able to swing with what they want to do. Mm-hmm. I said a percentage of that, I think sympathetically because of the attempt, might swing their vote over there. But
as a Democratic voter, you're watching this, you're going, you know what? They got Hulk Hogan.
Oh, he's cute.
My vote has changed. My mind has changed. He's right. I should be doing it. None of this changes it. I think this is just firing up the base, not so much changing minds. And that's why I'm like, these things are ridiculous. Like, it's just nuts that this is going to be the headline for the next couple weeks.
And all you crooked politicians need to answer one question, brother.
Oh, what you going to do?
What you going to do when Donald Trump and all the Trumpomaniacs run wild on you, brother?
I hit the music.
I'm not big on the guy, but I can't be mad at this little scenario.
Hit the music. They don't know how to do this.
No, they don't.
Hit the Unreal American. His music is perfect for this.
Yeah. They don't know what they're doing.
It should be going dun 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 dun. He should be out there doing the hand gesture, posing.
The only thing the only thing I wonder is if they had the rights to do it, which never stopped them before. They just get in trouble and they say, who cares?
You pay to ASCAP or BMI or whoever has it. Who cares at that point?
I don't know.
Wow. Insane. I'm looking at the
is
NBC News team here, and they're all just kind of like this, but not. They're like, fucking Hulk Hogan just cut a wrestling promo.
Yeah, they just did a wrestling promo. I mean, that's what it comes down to.
Well,
and again, this comes down to me saying this the other day. This is wrestling. This is farce. Like when they took the shot at Trump last Saturday. I immediately said, it seems like a wrestling move. He goes down, cuts his ear, comes up. He's let up.
I am
He's able to run his
I have
promo.
5 different texts here with people taking photos of their television. This one is like, we're watching it live. Holy shit, this is great.
Holy shit.
Hulk Hogan is at, this is a family member. Hulk Hogan is at the RNC.
Tell your mom to go to bed. It's late. Damn it, Mom.
This is weird.
Yeah.
This is bizarre.
And this is where we are now.
I gotta say, I am entertained.
Yeah. The
Despite,
entertainment factor is there, despite the world ending
and the Saturday, incident aside, I'm entertained. This is just like the party's kicking into full gear here.
Democrats have a month.
I know.
They have a month to figure this out, and they're going to get Rob Reiner, and no one will be fired up as much as that just fired up the Republicans.
Right. Craig Law in the chat. Idiocracy was a documentary. People have been saying that for years. Lucy Moody, USA. Tom from Alberta, RNC is not about changing minds. It's about stirring up the base. Yeah, well, all those conventions are about stirring up their base. They're not. It's very. It's in a grandiose scale, but it's very self. I'm trying to think how they. It's feeding their own egos. It's not converting voters or whatever. It's like, hey, we're throwing a party to show how great we are, and this is how awesome we are. This party's for us. You get to watch it from the outside. And then the next day, we'll be out there saying, hey, please vote for us. We're for you. We're one of you guys.
Right.
It's like, really? I didn't get to go to that event. I couldn't get tickets to that, but all right, sure. We're all the same. So that's weird.
That was
I don't know how
perfect timing.
Once the DNC figures out who's going to be their candidate, how do they prep for their convention? Like, what can they bring out there that's going to top? Look, these are low level compared to some of the high level talent that the Democratic Party will get. They could get any musician, any athlete, any actor, whatever. But bringing out, like, say, who's like
the entertainment factor that Hulk Hogan just brought to that moment will not be as much as George Clooney coming out and saying, "We need your vote." I'm George Clooney.
George Clooney, or like, I don't even know if Tom Cruise is political, but like he's like the biggest movie star in the world. So they could get that type of talent there. Is it other than a band? And people will be talking about, holy shit, the Foo Fighters played at the DNC. I'm not saying they are, but just like something like that. Metallica. You'll be like, oh, they were awesome at that. But you're talking about the band. You're not talking about the spectacle that will be the DNC. So they really got to work on figuring out what to do. You had the Teamster guy. You had Hulk Hogan cutting wrestling promos. I almost said Amber Heard.
Amber Rose.
Amber coming
Heard
out there.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm also a political prisoner.
Yeah.
Shit's on a bed. I don't know. They don't have the spectacle.
I can't. I'm gonna write something. This is just for us. Sorry, audience.
Ooh, I get to laugh on the side.
I gotta write. Somebody texted me. I can't say who it is, but
oh, I love this.
He wrote me.
Wow.
He wrote me about Hulk Hogan. That's insane. Sorry. Back to your irregularly scheduled programming.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, the DNC's got to really step it up and figure out what they're going to do. Maybe they got to do something, I don't know, Cirque du Soleil has to happen there. Something just ridiculous that's non-political is going to draw the attention.
T-shirt cannon.
Is tonight the last night for the RNC, or is it tomorrow? Because it's the last night that the candidate speaks. So I don't think Trump's speaking tonight, is he?
I don't remember. I know his son was speaking the other night, and there was a shot of him just snoozing away while Trump Jr. was sitting there and talking. I'm like, ooh.
No, they had that that priest on. A lot of people did that too. I saw they had that priest on that was doing like a blessing, and everybody had their heads down stuff, and people just isolated the shot of him there pointing around. It's like, oh, he's sleeping and everything, and it's like, I mean, look, if he was sleeping,
Come on, he wasn't praying.
yeah, but if he was sleeping, I'm saying it's all fair. Like, I understand you can make fun of everybody. I get it. I'm not saying you can't. But considering what was going on, it's like he was praying with everybody else in there. That isn't the thing. And whatever, it's fine. I mean, I'm not defending the guy. It's just saying it's like you picked the wrong spot to. If they just happen to cut away while Vance is up. Oh, Vance has got to speak. His vice president candidate's got to speak or something like that. So when that guy's up there. Then
that guy's been getting it too, by the way.
Go ahead. He's like, he fell asleep at his own thing.
That guy has been getting it from all angles too, where like people in the party were like, oh wait, he's married to a Brown? I've been seeing that all over Twitter. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Like, they're just eating themselves out alive. Like, it's just crazy.
Oh my God. The DNC, Hillary in a luchador mask. She comes in, takes out the candidate.
He has to take it off.
She rips it off, and then she points to like the election sign like they do for WrestleMania when they qualify to go to WrestleMania. Hillary's back on stage. It's a huge plot turn. I'd actually be for that. I think that's what would have to happen. They vote Hillary again over Kamala and everybody else to go and run for the presidency again.
What do you think the DNC gets their own wrestler, and who do you think they get? Mankind to come out?
No.
They would. I don't think they would stoop to that.
Mankind is kind of liberal. Who did they get?
Who was that? Bubba the Love Sponge? Wasn't that the issue with old Terry Bollea?
Yeah, with the sex tape and all that.
So they get him out and they just duel him.
Yeah, I think they get some wrestler that's really weak that doesn't mean anything, like Disco Inferno from the 90s WCW. He comes out and Fandango comes out and they have a dance battle.
Ooh, Fandango.
Yeah, something like
fantastic. That. Yeah, I don't know, man.
I saw something. I saw something the other day, and it was the weirdest thing. So a while ago, like years ago, remember Jimmy Fallon got a lot of heat because he had Trump on and he tousled his hair. And a lot of people said you humanized him. No, that turned a lot of people and everything. Whether you like him or not, the guy is a human being, but I get what they were saying. I was seeing that again in the last week. There's photos of him with his grandkids and stuff. Like they're walking the convention floor or at a hotel or wherever he is, you know. And he's got, I guess, his grandkids with him. And I saw people on Twitter and it's like, stop humanizing him. See, they're just purposely taking these photos. It's like, okay, but he has grandkids. It's not like they rented someone else's kids for a photo opportunity here to make him look like he's a family man or something. He's got kids. He's got grandkids. He's allowed to be with his family.
He's got those.
So many other things you can go at him about, but he's sitting there and somebody took a photo of him with his grandkids. Stop humanizing him.
Could you imagine he was the one that bought out the bulk of the NECA Megan dolls and they just dressed them up so they can get like humanizing photos of Trump just standing there with children?
He's walking around with a baby Bjorn carrying his grandson. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be ridiculous.
With his grandpa Don. Yeah, why not? Yeah. Throw that out there too. We're all over the place here, but this is what I'm talking about. It's like we don't usually do politics, but it's been more present than ever, superseding everything that's happening right now. We had a bunch of celebrity deaths since the last show that we did.
We have a lot.
These are the people who died.
This is the whole sheet.
These are the people who died. Right as we started last week's show, Shelley Duvall had passed away at 75, and she wasn't doing well to begin with, but she had passed right from there. Then we hit the weekend. Saturday morning, I'm up early, kids running around, looking at the news, and I see that Dr. Ruth Westheimer had passed away at 96 years old. I was kind of amazed. I was like, I didn't realize she was still alive. I thought she had passed.
I was the same way.
Because when she became super famous in the 80s and into the 90s and stuff, she looked old then.
Mm-hmm.
But she had passed away this Saturday. She was 96 years old. Then later that afternoon, Richard Simmons had died at the age of 76. And he's been not a recluse, but just missing from the public eye for a long time.
part of some issues where he kind of just, like you said, disappeared. And there was this big thing where a lot of people thought his like nurse or his maid or something was abusing him and keeping him out of the limelight, to where he actually, I think, called Good Morning America once just to say like, no, I'm good. I'm just kind of laying low. You know, I've done my thing.
So he had passed away, and it turns out skin cancer.
Oh, was that what it was?
Yeah, which is, look, any kind of cancer is a horrible way to go, but this is going to sound way worse than I mean it, but certain kinds of cancer, unfortunately, will consume you faster, and you go faster than a long-term cancer battle, which both are horrific, but one's more horrific than the other if it's delaying the inevitable.
Right.
And you got to suffer and torture. You're tortured and suffering for however long you have. Skin cancer is a long-term battle. It's not like pancreatic
Depends on
cancer
the kind.
or something. Well,
Depends on the kind,
for him,
I've had skin cancer.
For him, this has been a long-term battle with his skin cancer, which doesn't really seem out of the ordinary, because I went back and was looking at clips and stuff, like when he would show up on Letterman. Like, he was a regular on Letterman. He was a regular on Howard. He was a regular on certain shows. I think Regis and Kathy Lee in the 80s stuff, he was a regular on there too. He was always oiled up, very tan. Like, he's always tan. You never saw him pale. And, okay, skin cancer makes sense, because he was probably tanning lamps and all that shit all the time. But then he had passed away. And you're like, oh, man, that really sucks, because say what you want about the guy. I have very fond memories of him interrupting Letterman's show all the time, like just running out on stage for goofy bits.
Running out of Howard.
Yeah, and on that was the next thing. Listening to him on Howard all the time. Gary, he was an amazing guest.
He had probably one of the funniest bits on Whose Line Is It Anyway that I just...
there you go.
It was just so funny.
It was always funny on Whose Line Is It Anyway. The guy was an amazing talent.
He was an entertainer for sure.
Yeah, he was very good. It was very sad to hear that. And then, like, within an hour or so, the attempt on Donald Trump happened. Mm-hmm. So that went by the wayside. So much so that the next day, Sunday, they revealed that Shannon Doherty had passed away from cancer at age 53. But she had died on Saturday.
Right.
And they didn't even bother to put it out because of everything else that was going on. Makes sense. So
I think she had just finalized her divorce, like separation, like 2 hours prior, and then passes away. And then they issued like a posthumous divorce decree on Monday. Mm-hmm. So like that was nuts.
She passed away.
Who else is going?
She passed away on Saturday, but because of everything else, they didn't release it until Sunday. Then today, Bob Newhart passed away. Comedic legend.
Oh my God,
Bob
he's great.
Newhart. I love Bob Newhart. If you don't know who he is, go back and look at clips of him. I think mostly on the Tonight. He was a big Tonight Show guest, so mostly on the Tonight Show. His the Bob Newhart Show is one of the funniest sitcoms that ever happened. You can definitely see how it influenced Frasier in the 90s, which was became one of the biggest sitcoms of all time.
Yeah.
But the Bob Newhart Show, then his show in the 80s, Newhart, had probably the most famous ending of a television series ever by tying it back into his original show.
That was funny. I remember I remember. Like, I don't think I ever really watched the Bob Newhart Show, but I remember growing up watching Newhart. It was on TV or whatever.
I watched it on Nick at Night, and that might be a show I might want to go back and, because the dialogue is hilarious, because it's all
he's great. His delivery.
Yeah. So he had passed away, and I met him a couple times. He did. Ron Bennington has a series called Unmasked, and he did it at a comedy club that I don't think exists anymore, called Comics. And they shot Unmasked there, and I was there for that. I got to meet Bob and talk to him and stuff. Didn't get a photo with him. Don't know why I don't have a photo with him, considering I met him twice. Mm-hmm. I just don't have a photo with him. But the guy was a legend. His stand-up comedy, a lot of it was one-sided. He would just pick up a phone and just do the whole dialogue as whoever he's talking on the phone, and it just worked. The man was brilliant. He passed away at age 94 today, and right before we started today's show, Lou Dobbs, very famous newsman from CNN. I don't know where he was after. He wasn't at CNN when he passed.
He was at Fox, I think.
He went over to Fox, yeah. But I knew him, grew him up for being one of the cornerstones of when CNN started in the 80s. In the 90s, Lou Dobbs was a huge name in news.
Yeah, I knew him from his famous song. Na 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 na. Na, 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 na.
I forgot we did that. Yeah,
Lou Dobbs.
We're going through the list and trying to figure out, well, what do we play on the pre-show before we start? And Jordan just goes, "So, is there any song that relates to Lou Dobbs?" Just for some reason, Sha-Na Na popped into my head.
We just
I started going dip 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 Lou Dobbs Sha-Na Na. Like, it makes no sense.
20 minutes of just Lou Dobbs.
Laying in my bed and then picked up my head because the TV said, "Hey, guess who's dead? Lou Dobbs." Sha-na-na. Like, it just worked.
Yeah, just perfect.
So Godspeed, Lou Dobbs.
Yeah, it's what a run of just and then the kid from Alf. I know we didn't really mention it. He was, probably in his 50s, I think. But yeah, he passed away as well. I mean, it's just been a run of celebrity deaths over the last week.
Yeah. Again, all of that stuff when it hit, horrible, but again, overshadowed by American politics right now that's going on. Yeah. Some other things that were happening with American politics. I said I had a video clip here. After the assassination attempt of Donald Trump, Biden had went on from, I guess, the Oval Office. He addressed the nation to talk about what was going on, and cooler heads need to prevail, and
try to bring some unity. I mean, I get it. I mean, as a sitting president, regardless of if you're running against the guy or not, you have to do this. Like, you have to calm the populace.
Right. So there was a clip. I'm watching this thing, and he says something that I just found so hilarious here. So I am going to bring this up for us to watch.
Making the case for our record and the vision, my vision of the country, our vision. I'll continue to speak out strongly for our democracy, stand up for our Constitution and the rule of law, to call for action at the ballot box, no violence on our streets. That's
okay. He says ballot box correctly here.
That's how democracy should work. We debate and disagree. We compare and contrast the character of the candidates, the records, the issues, the agenda, the vision for America. But in America, we resolve our differences at the battle box. That's how we do it, at the battle box, not with bullets.
Twice.
Yeah.
Battle box.
And I tweeted out, I wish this was how America resolved its issues, at the battle box. And I was like, hey, get your battle bot. Let's go to the battle box and sort this whole thing out.
Right.
I would love nothing more if that was how American politics went. You just made makeshift robots. You showed up at a mini arena, and then, it's like Truckosaurus versus Gravedigger, and it's just going through. They got blades. They're cutting. They're exploding things. There's little mines in the battlefield on there, and you're just whoever's left standing at the end. That's whose policy goes into effect.
They need to do it like American Gladiators. We got one guy on the other end with the tennis ball gun, and they're just trying to run the gauntlet. Like, it's ridiculous that.
It was just too funny. I'm watching this. I'm like, I would love to go to the battle box. Get the battle bots. Let's go to the battle box. I would love to see world wars and world policy solved that way. You know how they
that's what the Olympics are for. Whoever wins.
Well, not even the Olympics.
It's like the rules for the 4 years.
Not even the Olympics. You know what Eurovision is?
Yeah, where they sing
they do all the singing competition that only that little pocket of the world is a part of. Right. All those countries, because there's like 19 countries in what amounts to the size of Texas. Yeah. Over there, there's 19 countries connected to each other, and they all compete like American Idol, but on a more grandiose scale for like who gets a recording contract, and like most of the world watches this thing. It's just like soccer. Have something like Eurovision, where the battle box, NATO needs to undergo some new policies. We got to deal with stuff in the Middle East. Maybe that's how we solve Israel and Palestine. They got to battle bot it out at the battle box.
I could do it.
I think the world would be a better place.
It'd be a lot more fun, I'll tell you that much.
Tom from Alberta, yes. BattleBot's decision making, yes. Here we go. Lucy Moody, Demolition Democracy.
That's the show title right there.
I'm writing that down. Good one.
Because that just reminds me of everyone's been talking in the chat about Idiocracy, and it's spectacle. Let's just get monster trucks. Let's get flamethrowers. Let's have a demolition democracy, and let's just call it a day. And let's be done with it. Let it happen.
Yeah,
and that's what I want.
To wind up the politics stuff.
Hold on.
What?
She's hitting it twice.
Uh-oh.
If you don't want to answer a question at the debate, you should be able to take the physical challenge.
I dare you to give me an answer to solve this world policy. I double dare you. Physical challenge, Your Honor. Okay, and it's, oh, God. Call Mark Summers.
Yeah.
So it's double dare and BattleBots together.
And then throw in the Astrocrag or whatever it was.
Now if Finland can get past Norway on this here, Harvey, tell us what we win. It's a brand new bike from Huffy.
It's a new Casio keyboard.
A week at Space Camp.
Oh, I'd have loved a week at Space Camp.
Everybody wanted a week at Space Camp.
Damn it.
They had the Casio keyboard, some kind of Huffy or a Schwinn that you could win.
A year's supply of Twizzlers.
It was never anything really cool like a Nintendo Entertainment System. Now you're playing with power. It was never like that. Or a year's supply of Rice-A-Roni, the San Francisco treat. You would have some Casio SK1, the thing that you could record and sample your voice, or a week at Space Camp. Who didn't want a week at Space Camp? Because the footage they showed where it looks like they're putting kids in the centrifugal force machine as it's going around.
Great time.
They're in spacesuits going into pools, and you're like, yeah, I kind of want to go to Space Camp.
I even love the movie Space Camp. I just was so into Space Camp growing up. I'm like, does this place exist?
Right.
I never got to go.
Hollywood agent Rob Stark saying, we play space games because we never got to go to Space Camp.
Exactly.
He is right.
Speaking of, did you watch any of the updates coming up?
Hold on. The NATO assembly is about to start. On your mark. Get set. Go. And then you just see the countries just battle botting it all up there.
They're riding these little bicycles on like oil slicked things. Yeah.
Right.
Trying to find the flag inside the ball pit.
And all right, let's see who's Germany's the one standing. Who saw that coming? Germany, you get first answer at the questions here.
Biden's still trying to find the flag in the giant nose.
He's walking around.
He doesn't know where he's at.
Biden's walking around like the guy who would do the robot dance in the Chappelle skits. He was just going like this the whole time.
Yeah, he's always in the background.
He's got like the Humpty Hump Russian babushka on.
Oh my God. That's it. That's how we solve it.
Fun
we
times.
Did it. We don't need an RNC or DNC for this. We just solved it.
The other side of this had been, and then we should probably take a break. The other side of this had been people, look, any kind of tragic situation that happens, people are going to post the most terrible, heinous stuff. It's just human.
It's human natural
nature. But the difference this time is that people don't understand, at least in this country, which is weird because in this country you have freedom of speech to do things and say things. And that yet they still don't fully understand the policy that's in place that allows you to have freedom of speech.
Freedom of speech is one thing. Freedom of consequences, however, is completely different.
But also, there are certain things that are not covered under freedom of speech, despite the fact he's like, I have a right to say it. You do. Except there are universally accepted, I don't want to say a list, because I don't know, maybe the list does exist. But there are times where everybody kind of goes, yeah, fuck your freedom of speech. This is wrong. We're not allowing this. And that's one of the great things about this country, that we can self-police when we fucking pay attention to it. The most go-to one is yelling fire in a crowded theater.
Right.
You can say freedom of speech, but it's an actual law. You can get jail time. You can get fined and whatever. You can't threaten public figures, elected public figures. That is against the law. You will get a visit from the FBI or Secret Service or whoever is deemed fit to handle that situation.
Mm-hmm.
After the failed attempt on Saturday, there was no shortage of people out there. Now, granted, look, we're not dumb. We know there are people who felt this way about the situation at hand not going according to this person's plan. And I'm sure people out there are disappointed that it didn't go one way, and there are people who are glad that it went the other way. We know that. You know that. It doesn't mean you need to go out there and just parade it around, on social media that you think this is okay. So a lot of people were writing comments of too bad he missed. Some assholes were going even further, saying F the families that were affected by this, F the firefighter that died. That one streamer, I didn't know who this guy was until recently, named Destiny. He's apparently
I've heard of him.
He was a very liberal leaning streamer, but I guess he rose to fame because people knew that he was very liberal, but he seemed to be one of the guys that was willing to reach across the aisle to try to. He would have like conservative and Republican guests on his show, or he'd go on their shows and try to say, well, then you tell me what the solution is. How do we resolve this? How do we work together? Like I think that's what got him famous. Mm-hmm. And just like anybody who leans into any religion or any ideology too much, your brain kind of breaks, and then that's all that becomes your identity. Like you lose everything else in you. You just only are following this one particular path. Mm-hmm. And immediately when it was revealed who the person was that, because some people were critically injured and one person died on location. Yeah. And it revealed that it was a firefighter. And every report said he died by jumping and covering his family, and he got hit. This streamer goes on there and he's just saying his name is Destiny, or I don't know his real name, but that was the name he uses. F him, F the firefighter, F anybody. He's like, if you're a fan of mine or a follower of mine and you're at any of these rumps, he's like, any of these rallies, he goes, if something happens to you, and he's like, I will be making fun of you the next day on Twitter. I will. Like, it was just really, you can be critical politically. You can be critical even as how the candidates conduct themselves as people. Mm-hmm. But even anybody who may agree with you on your political beliefs is not going to get on board with you saying, fuck the firefighter who died covering his family. No one's going to support that. No. And they didn't, because the Elon Musk platformed him or demonetized him off Twitter, which was making a lot of his money. I know so many people are on this Kick service, which I still haven't looked at yet. Maybe we should, but it's like another gaming streaming service like Twitch. He got kicked off of Kick, pun, and then he was on Piers Morgan the next night. Like, Piers Morgan was live in London, had him on there with a couple of other political mouthpieces. I don't know who the other people were. And, Piers Morgan is a bit of a crackpot too, but watching the clip and I'm like, holy shit, Piers Morgan's making a lot of good points yelling at this guy. It's like, just be a fucking human being. Now, I'm not defending Piers and other shit, but I'm saying in this particular incident, he's saying what everyone's thinking. It's like, you're a garbage person. This is a terrible take. This is not what happened to you. A lot of this kid's not a kid, he's a guy, he's in his 30s. A lot of this guy's fan base were even like, what the fuck are you doing, man? I can't support this. I can't be a part of this. The way you're going after him. And then he made a mention about something like him and a kid who I guess died from something else. It was like, oh, they're probably laughing it up in hell. And you're like, holy fuck, this guy's doubling down on this shit.
Like I like making jokes. I like having my fun. There are just certain things that you don't cross the line with.
Right.
You know, like I can sit here and go, all right, taking a shot at anybody, no matter who it is, that's a terrible thing. I also think blaming an entire party or a group of people because one person who's a crackpot decided to do this, that's also bad.
Right.
I also can sit here and look at Trump and say, oh, look, he's got a tiny little pillow on his head. He looks like an idiot. I can say stuff like that without it being over the top crazy.
Right.
Biden is old and not making sense. There are trouble on both sides, but I would never sit there and go, oh, good, he deserved it, or this guy deserved this. What happened was a tragedy. Plain and simple. Shouldn't have happened. Should have never gotten to this point. We just need a reset on everything, and we just keep getting further and further into these ideologies. I mean, there's people saying that this kid was, radicalized by X amount of groupings and being teased and pushed. People are saying he was a registered Republican who donated to this, and this. And it was like, so we're just trying to find sides instead of saying this guy was a nut job and did something, tragic.
Right.
We're so quick to want to point fingers in every direction.
Yeah. They just want to have it's like they can point to that. So it's none on us. Oh, look, it's somebody from his own side. It doesn't matter.
It wasn't our fault.
Apparently, from the news thing about this, which, by the way, the news has to fucking stop because they're using 3 names because assassins have to have 3 names.
Ridiculous.
Stop. You're talking about Trump. Stop humanizing him because there's photos of him with his grandkids. Stop humanizing a shithead like this kid by doing the 3 names because then you're trying to make him into some sort of historical figure. Yes, he is one now. But doesn't need to be up at the level as you're putting like a John Wilkes Booth or Lee Harvey Oswald and all those kidheads that do that stuff. I forgot what I was trying to say here because I got so mad about that.
Just the news doing all what they're doing and reporting it.
Choking on my own rage here.
I don't get those little SOBs.
Yeah, the news reports of some of this nonsense. Anyway, let's go back to what we initially were saying here about people with their freedom of speech of what they can and they can't say, and they post stuff online. Everybody was quick to think this was the hot take or I'm going to be the funny joke. Now, look, I will say this is the equivalent of if it was something with a celebrity and everyone starts posting the same hack line, same hack joke, and they all think that they thought of it and that it's funny, and you can just search that phrase, and then you're like, oh my God, everyone's posting the same stupid thing. It's that equivalent for what was said about this incident, the mindset of it. But the difference here is this has consequences to doing that.
And we've seen it.
You have the list there. I remember watching on Sunday, there was just constant outlets posting social media screenshots of people who were praising this kid, praising the thoughts and prayers to the kid's family. It was all along the lines of too bad he missed, and maybe the next one should hopefully the next one gets it right, like things along those lines.
People are just stupid. Like, there's no anonymity on the internet. As much as they think that they have this platform where they can say what they want without consequence, it has consequence.
Right.
From celebrities to, fire chiefs, political aides, school employees, there's been a number of them. There was an instructor in Louisville, Kentucky. He was put on unpaid leave over what the university officials called offensive and unacceptable social media post. By Tuesday, this happened Monday, by Tuesday he was no longer employed. They don't know if he was resigned or fired, but that's just one thing. He said something stupid, got fired.
Right.
And then there was a quote, words and actions that condone violence are unacceptable and contrary to our values, which is call for respect, the intrinsic value and dignity of every individual. And it's ridiculous.
That's something that people don't understand too. When they talk about their freedom of speech and I have a right to say whatever you do. But on these social media platforms, you don't. As much as you think you do. Look, they'll go by countries' laws because there's things you can't say in the UK. The UK, no. Where if you're criticizing a political leader on policy or something like that, like it can get pretty heated here, but not crossing the line what we think is bad here. You can't even say some of that stuff over there.
No.
Like that gets you in trouble. So they respect the laws of the country. But these platforms also have their own terms of service. So if they think that your stuff is hate speech or that you're inciting violence or you're doxing, whatever the situation, they can get rid of your account. They turn you off. They demonetize you. They suspend you. They expel you. Whatever it is they do, it happens. And everyone's like, I have the right to say what I want. It's like you do standing in public. You could go outside of your house, stand in the street and say all that shit.
I mean, just the other night, me and Eric were talking about it, and I basically told him I think England's greatest prime minister was Lord Palmerston.
Piff the Elder!
Lord Palmerston.
That's right. Show's over. We're done. Bye, everybody. We're back. We settled our differences. Like men. Like gentlemen.
Like gentlemen.
But yeah, you can't just do some of this shit on social media, and everyone thinks they can get away with what they want, and they double down.
Even in person, you've got the lady that was in Home Depot. She was literally working at Home Depot, and you're getting recorded. No matter what you think you're not, you're always going to be recorded. Someone's always going to have footage of you, and she's sitting there talking about, they should not have missed. I wish they would have got him. Stuff like that. Completely fired because someone had their phone out, recorded her doing it while she's trying to check out paint.
Online, there were the screen caps from her Facebook post. I think most of them seemed to be Facebook, but it was a Facebook post, and they tracked this. People just tracked this person down, found out where she worked. Now, in any other case, if it wasn't this, and it still could happen, but the person who went in there with the video could be, banned from the store. Home Depot's, right? Yeah, banned from Home Depot's for life. Maybe get a file that they were trespassing or harassment or something along those lines. But because of what their employee did was way worse PR-wise than what this person was doing, this was viewed as like a whistleblower situation. Now, I don't know if maybe they told the guy that went in there, maybe it's like, I'm sorry, I understand what you're doing, but you're still banned from Home Depot. Like, I don't know that fallout if there was one. But the online outrage was so great that Home Depot had to tweet out a statement saying this person no longer is an employee of Home Depot. And then we started seeing all day people who were getting caught posting these things. Teachers. There was a teacher in Oklahoma that I saw had posted some, and she deals with, they all deal with kids, but she deals with like younger kids. And like her bio say proud activist and all that other stuff that it's fine, you can say all that stuff, that's not the problem, but talking about how the next person should do a better job trying to kill a presidential candidate, a former president, who knows, maybe a president at the time, who knows. It got so bad that the school district and the superintendent for the school district, it's somewhere in Oklahoma, had to go out there and post stuff on their social media because they were flooded all day. And they said, we heard you. This is unacceptable. This was something I didn't know you could do. Had negated her teaching certificate. So she can't even teach anymore. Not even,
at least not in that state. I mean,
it's not like she was fired from this school district and she can go to another district. Her certificate for teaching was null and void, and she couldn't teach anywhere in that state. Like, that's how bad things were escalating. People who had jobs, one guy was being super arrogant. He doubled and tripled down on it. He lived in Austin, Texas, and he was one of those people where this is going to sound bad, but hear me out. He is one of those people where their lifestyle or belief or whatever becomes their identity. And that's all their social media is. Now, he was a gay guy, and that's fine. It was all pride stuff. You go through his whole social media. That's all he ever posted was about gay and pride stuff. There was nothing ever. It's like, hey, you took a walk in the park. Here's me, and we're out at dinner. None of that stuff. It was just nonstop. Same can be said for like religious people or women you went to school with, and all it is their kids, and it's nothing about them and their husband and their lives. Like, I don't even know what she does for a living anymore because every fucking photo is and post is about their kid. It all falls under it all falls under the same umbrella. So this guy was one of those guys where his beliefs were his identity. So he wrote, "It's a shame they missed. Better luck next time. If we're lucky, the next guy will be a better shot." People got all upset. And he
seems to be like the script. A lot of people have been saying just the exact same thing.
So then this person comes on, and then he posts like immediately after that, "Sorry you're offended. Let me know if you need me to walk you through to how to unfriend me," all in capitals, exclamation points. And he will not take this down. He's like, he doesn't give a fuck. He, whatever. He's going on his moral tirade. Well, they find out that he's a senior program manager for Uber.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And this is not my work stuff. This is my personal account. I don't care. And it's like, my work is. He was just saying that it doesn't matter. Work doesn't give a shit. Uber doesn't give a shit. They gave a shit because he was immediately terminated when it got to their attention, and Facebook eliminated because it's all. What's the name of the company? Mega? No.
Meta.
Meta deleted his Facebook, his Instagram, and anything else they controlled. You can't find his Twitter anymore. His Twitter is outdated, so he wasn't using his Twitter. But all his shit is gone. And Uber put out a statement that this person has been removed from the company. And it just kept going. It just kept going. Now, you could think, oh, this is what the right hates, cancel culture, and they're doing the same exact thing. Well, this isn't really the right. I mean, I'm sure a lot of it is people on the right doing that. But this is more of like everybody was getting upset. There was one guy. It was this guy. It was that same guy. I was seeing the comments before his Facebook went away. A lot of it was family members and friends of his. Dude, I understand what you're talking about. I understand what you're going through, but this is not the way to do it. One of his cousins is like, "What the fuck, man?" It's like, you can't post stuff like this. This is going to ruin your life or whatever. You're seeing his friends and family plead with him. It's like, we get what you feel.
Right. We understand.
This is not the way to do it. And he's all walking through, middle fingers, stone cold, stunning everybody, not giving a fuck. And then that's what happened. But yeah, you were seeing teachers, you were seeing healthcare people, you were seeing people who just had regular jobs anywhere. It was ongoing. Like, you kept seeing it pop up over and over.
It affected people in the normal day-to-day. It affected, like the Home Depot lady, schools, big time companies. The biggest one, though, was Tenacious D.
Yeah. So they were on stage in Australia, I think Sydney. They were performing there. And it was Kyle Gass's birthday. So when I'm seeing the clip of, it's Tenacious D, you never know what the hell's going on in that stage. There's a giant robot walking around.
Right, he was carrying a cake.
There was weird shit. Yeah, he's bringing a big birthday cake, and it's not a cake. It's not even a proper cake. It's one of those cartoonish round cakes with the long candles so you can see it everywhere. Jack Black's leading the crowd, singing happy birthday to Kyle. Make a wish, and, you're seeing on the left side of the screen the robot and Kyle. He's there with that. Jack's facing the crowd off to the looking at it right side of the stage. So he's not even near all this. Right? Yeah, he's doing his stuff over there.
He's doing a little bit.
And Kyle goes, says something to the mic about next time don't miss Trump.
He said make a wish, and then so Kyle, before he made the wish, goes, next time don't miss.
He said Trump's name. He said Trump's name in it. That's what it, don't miss Trump. And then you got a mixed bag. You got people cheering, but you had people like cringing.
It's groan-worthy, yeah.
Yeah, whatever. So you might not think, oh, that's not a big a deal. They're, musicians. They're Tenacious D. Well, the next day, Sunday, I think it was, or Monday, there was a statement from Jack Black saying, look, I wasn't aware that this was even going to happen. I apologize for all that stuff. With that being said, we're canceling the rest of the tour. and then we're going to reevaluate everything here. Like, so Jack Black's in crucial damage control because it wasn't him that did it.
No.
This was all Kyle's doing. But
a lot of people were judging him, though, because his initial reaction to what he said was laughing.
Yeah.
Now, everyone has been in that situation where maybe you're in a public eye, someone says something horrific. If you're playing it off, you kind of laugh it off. You do your little bit, or maybe he didn't realize what was said. There, you've got the monitors in your ears. You're doing other things. There could have been a number of reasons why he just played it off as laughter.
Hold on,
that doesn't mean he was cool with it.
Since we're talking music, I got to bring this up here. Look what's going on.
Oh my God!
Detroit City back on the map. We sing Trump.
All right, we can't play the rest of that because that'll get flagged. But he's doing cowboy as.
Oh my God!
Yeah, it's exactly what you think it is.
He's gonna go shoot Bud Light cans now.
I was just thinking this, Lucy. Trump with a Trump, like ba with a ba, a Trump, baby.
But yeah, I mean, Jack Black's initial response and reaction during the show was to laugh it off. He's still got to do a show, laugh it off, whatever. Taking a day to really think about it, deal with it, do all this stuff. Sure. I get it. And then that's when he put out a statement, canceling the tour. All future creative plans are on hold. And then like a day later, Kyle Gass's agency drops him.
Mm-hmm. The agency drops him. Hold. I've heard word that they lost a lot of sponsorship for their tour. Like whoever was their sponsorship deals were for supporting the tour went, we can't do this.
Yeah.
And again, it's not a matter of whether agreeing with him or not. I think had this been said backstage, not into a microphone, whatever, I don't think Jack Black would have had a problem with this. I don't think anybody else would have been like, maybe some people were like, oh, dude, don't say that, or laughed, whatever. But because he was on stage in front of a ton of people and everyone has cameras and he spoke into a microphone.
Oh yeah, I mean,
companies are not going to even give you the benefit of the doubt when it comes to a presidential assassination attempt. Yeah. They're not going to be part of anything to do with any kind of commentary for that. So so their tour was immediately canceled. I heard they lost sponsorship. Dana White's speaking there now too. That makes sense. Yeah, and then that thing from Jack Black, because he's doing damage control for his stuff, and then like you said, Kyle's management, or maybe it was both of theirs, but anyway, the talent manager dropped him, and I don't know how this works out going forward. Probably not until after the election do they entertain dealing with Kyle again, if they even do.
If they do,
this might be what do they call it? The stank.
Think about it, Jack Black doesn't need Tenacious D. Like, he doesn't. It's a fun little side thing.
No, Kyle needs Tenacious D. Jack
Kyle
does not.
needs Tenacious D. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was like we said. It's been a year within a week, seeing all of this stuff.
It's been a long week.
All of this stuff just unfold, and you're like, "What is like? This is nuts." See, look, there's Dana White right there, addressing.
No, that's just White. Oh, here we go.
Here we go. The next UFC event, Trump will be there walking out. You've seen the last couple of UFC fights in New York where Trump walked out and the pop is deafening.
It's just a huge pop. I get it.
It's going to be even more so now wherever their next fight is. He'll just walk into that arena and it'll just be pandemonium.
All right. I don't feel like, I'm going to address this. MRip31 says Jack Black's career is over now too. No, it's not.
No, Jack's
not. He made the right move. He kind of shielded himself from that fallout.
He publicly distanced himself from it.
Exactly. He's still going to do the silly voices for whatever company's going to do.
He's going to be doing Super Mario Brothers 2. He'll be Bowser.
Yeah. Borderlands is going to get the support next month when he's doing the rounds.
Oh my God! I just thought of something. Imagine like it was Jack Black, or this didn't skate for Jack Black and he got fired and dropped from all this stuff, and they got to replace Bowser with Patton Oswalt like they did with Louis C.K. in Life of Pets.
That would be kind of funny.
It's like, wow, Patton gets a lot of work from people who can't keep their mouth shut and get fired. Patton just comes in and takes over.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a week.
He'll be fine.
It's a lot going on here. All right, let's take a break. Let's reset. That was a pretty heavy segment 1. We'll go into.
Oh, then we shouldn't talk about all the cancellations in segment 2.
Oh, crap.
Christ.
More, it's Eric Nagel. It's Eric Nagel. Next. It's Eric Nagel. Follow the show on all social medias at It's Eric Nagel for ways to watch or listen to the show, both live and on demand. Go to itsericnagel.com. It's Eric Nagel. He is back.
Segment 2 of the show. Eric Jordan here with you, going over television, movies, streaming updates, giving you all the information about what's going on so you can decide whether it's worth your time or not. As we do always for segment 2, we start off by talking about what we're currently watching. Jordan, what are you watching?
I know we're probably going to go into The Acolyte. So I've been watching The Acolyte, finished that up, 8 episodes. It's done. Don't know if it's going to get another season. They laid the groundwork for future stuff, but the reviews have been good as far as reviewers go, but people are beating this into the ground. I didn't have as many issues with it as most people, mainly because I know the things that they're setting up.
Right.
But someone who doesn't read into it as much as I do might have a different opinion than I have.
How dare you have it? We just went through segment 1. What did I tell you about having different opinions? It gets you canceled and gets you fired.
Sorry, sir.
Everyone docks Jordan now because he liked The Acolyte.
Here's his socials. That's when you put my social stuff out.
It'd be great. You show up in this ongoing list of people getting canceled and fired because of, their political rhetoric and, joking about, not even joke, but threats of killing a public official. It's like, wait, what's this guy here? He likes The Acolyte? So he got... Wow, they ruined this guy's life. What happened? Just for liking a television show.
Oh my God. And he's got a movie podcast? Get him.
Well, no one's going to watch that, so we don't have to bother that.
It's true.
Sorry, Aaron. I
I'm
know
going to take it all down.
He gets sensitive with that. I finished The Acolyte as well. I finished it last night. The ending is dumb. It was dumb. I
think they should have ended it with one more episode and done it a little bit better.
Really dumb. Pulling a Men in Black kind of thing is where did that come from Jedi powers? Now that's a thing too, and
no, it's a Sith power.
It's just, if that's the case, if that's a Sith power, why don't they just do wave their hand thing like Obi-Wan did? Like, these are not the droids you're looking for, and then just do that every time you fight somebody. Then you just slaughter people. You slaughter and your side wins. They just pick it out when it's only necessary. They have that sort of moral restrictions to do something like that.
There was another thing that really annoyed me, and it's like I said, I didn't hate the
diversity.
The show, but there was I hate the diversity in this thing. Anyway, there was a scene where Saul, one of the main characters, they were doing the flashback scene. It was
Saul Goodman?
episode 7.
Yeah,
Saul Goodman. No, Saul Rosenberg. So Saul Rosenberg was wondering where his shoes went.
I lost my lightsaber.
I lost my lightsaber.
My shoes hurt.
I needed a prescription for glasses. Where he's using the Force to hold 2 different metal things from letting the girls fall.
Right.
And he's using the Force, but can't hold it, and switches to one side, sacrificing one to save the other.
Right.
I'm like, I didn't know the Force worked that way. Like, apparently that's heavy, but you can lift Starship.
All right, I'm going to tell you.
There's things that I hate.
I'm going to reveal a secret. This is insider stuff, Jordan, that you don't know.
Okay.
The Force, it's magnets.
Damn it.
It's just magnets in his hand.
The Insane Clown Posse
so when
knew what they were talking about.
So when he let go of that thing and went over there, now he's got double magnet power to hold that up while the other girl falls to her death.
Makes sense.
It's all magnets.
It's all magnets.
Sorry to break it to you.
Yeah, but they set stuff up. I don't know if they'll get more.
I'll tell you 2 other things I didn't like about that show.
The twins.
Well, that, yeah. All right, 3 things that I didn't like about the show. Who's the green ball Jedi?
Oh, God. I don't remember. Indara,
yeah,
I think is Master Indara.
She's annoying.
She's a bitch.
But her lightsaber turns into a whip.
You didn't like that? No.
That was stupid. Then one of the final fights in the last episode, the anger fueled her, so the lightsaber turned from blue to red.
No, okay, so here, people are getting pissed off about, and that's one of the things where if you know some of the lore that they set up, you'll know why. It's called kyber crystal bleeding, and this is the fucking nerdiest shit I'm going to start doing. That was set up in some of the books, and it was also in one of the video games. So that's something that exists in this world, but because it has never been put on screen or has been mainstream, people don't know. So they're sitting there going, okay, so we can just change kyber crystal shit. Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm. That's what this is. It's kyber crystal bleeding, and it makes sense in that. I don't think they did it well. I don't think they explain anything. Just like the whole, if you can kill a Jedi without using a weapon, they're setting up the first force choking, and that's how she kills what's his face. There's a lot of things I hate. Nerd. Hold on. Here we go. That's me. Shit. I was lightsaber battling my child yesterday.
Did you turn into a whip and then drag him by the legs, drag him through the living room? No. But
there was cool stuff. It's just not enough of it. Like there was just too much setup for something that
this bothered me too.
They showed that's another thing.
Hold on. Lucy Moody in the chat says that's why the villain had a Magneto helmet. I was thinking that the whole time. I'm like, oh, he's got a Magneto helmet, so they can't read his thoughts.
It's the metal in the helmet.
And then he took it off, and then he said, I know you could read my thoughts, boy. Meow, 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 meow. Yes.
No, it's a metal called cortosis. Like there's. The problem with this show is that they bring in so much stuff that if you don't know about it, you're going to sit there and go, God, that was stupid. I know about it, so I'm like, oh, that's kind of neat. It's not the best thing in the world, but if you have to do a show that you have to do 8 hours of research before, that's why it fails. That's why it doesn't resonate with the group. No one cares. I hated it. And like the girl who plays the twins, she's not great. She's very monotone. She's very wooden. The girls, I didn't like those little actresses either. Not very great. The chick that was played Indara, the Green Jedi, she's the wife of the director. So that's, she's not great.
She's the Kate not Kate Beckinsale. Who's Spielberg's wife?
Oh, Kate Capshaw.
Kate Capshaw. So she's the Kate Capshaw of the Star Wars universe.
Right.
Gotcha.
So there's stuff that I did not like. And it sucks because the one thing I kind of thought was neat and also terrible is there was a scene where the cave and you can see someone kind of peeking out and his hand comes across. That's Darth Plagueis, which is who you learn about in.
Wait, which one?
Darth Plagueis the Wise.
No, which scene?
There was a scene where they're leaving that planet with the ocean and you see someone kind of just peek out in a cave. That's who that is.
Oh, okay.
Palpatine talks about him in the prequel movies. So that's setting that Sith up. But that was such a shoehorned moment. And it's like, that's neat and also stupid.
Okay.
So I like some of the fight scenes. Choreography was kind of cool. They did a very hidden, crouching tiger, hidden dragon scene.
Right.
Which is neat. But, when you're surrounding it with terrible dialogue, it does take away from how cool that could have been.
Rob Stark in the chat saying half the dialogue of the show was someone screaming one of the kids' names, and he referenced Murph from Interstellar.
Yeah,
May, Olaf, whatever her name is, Oprah,
Oprah,
Ozempic.
I know, it's just they're shoehorning diet drugs.
Yeah,
but yeah, we saw that. Let's move on from that. I saw Longlegs. That. They're calling it a horror movie.
Giddles loved it.
Movie. I really actually enjoyed it. And it scared me because sometimes me and Giddles don't really vibe on some of those indie movies where he likes something a lot and I sit there going, okay. And then I go in and I hate it. This I really enjoyed. It's kind of a mix of, I would say, Silence of the Lambs mixed with Seven, mixed with Zodiac. And it was really, really cool. A little slow at first, but the buildup was good. Nicolas Cage was really cool, and I don't see it as a horror movie, but it was a good watch. Like I really enjoyed that movie a lot. I restarted watching Harley Quinn. We've been talking about that, so I started rewatching that. That show is still just as funny going back and watching it again. And then I watched that Russell Crowe exorcism movie, and that was garbage. Like, it was so bad, and
Really?
it was boring. It was boring.
Damn it! I had high hopes for it.
No,
Or not
super
high
boring.
hopes, at least decent hopes. I had hopes
You had
that
some
I would
hopes.
watch it. Oh wow, I'm
You had
really
hope,
downplaying
singular.
this whole thing now. I was gonna peep it once it showed up on a streaming service. There we go. Okay.
So yeah, I watched that, but nothing too crazy this week. I just been kind of putting stuff on in the background while I do work and other things. I did restart watching Seinfeld again, which is always fun.
Oh
So,
yeah. There's an account that I follow that is called Soprinefeld. The Soprinfelds, and it mixes scenes of Seinfeld and The Sopranos together.
I bet
and
that's fun.
dude, follow it on Instagram. It's
I'll have to
amazing how
look.
good this guy is doing the editing and putting stuff together. They did the one I just recently saw was the one where Christopher's on stage in his acting group, where he's doing like he's being all dramatic and he's like the worst one on stage. And then it cuts to that scene where like Jerry and Elaine were viewing somebody's terrible play and they're passing the candy along.
Oh, she starts laughing at the Pez.
Yeah. They mix it together. I'm like, wow, this works. This guy figured out all the ins and outs of this shit. So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
look up. I'll see if I can find the name of
Yeah,
it.
find it, send it to me.
Yeah, and send it to you.
But yeah,
But,
that's what I've been watching.
I watched The Acolyte. I don't think I watched anything else. I've been checking out the news, and then I have a lot of extra time on my hands lately, so
I was gonna say
I've been spending as much time as I can with the kid, but the kid's got daily activities, so it's almost like school. So I'm keeping busy. I'm trying to. I've made progress with getting the eBay stuff together. I'll start posting that hopefully next week. I had to do all the poster stuff. I had other meetings with potential places. A lot was going on. I just really hadn't sat down to watch anything. And then when I had free time, I just said, fuck it. I kind of just escaped into No Man's Sky and just was doing all the little side quests and all the other things that I bypassed when I was just doing the main stuff. Now I'm just dicking around in the universe, sailing around.
Yeah, they got a new update coming. They never posted a date for it, but it looks really good. Did you watch any of that?
That's what I wrote to you, because what I was seeing, it looked like it said that the planets were breaking up, like they were showing flying over there, and like the terrain's all messed up and weird.
No, they added new water effects. They're going to do an expedition where we go after giant bugs, kind of like Starship Troopers. So there's a big bug hunt expedition. They do new cloud textures.
What if
some
they
of the planets are a little bit better?
do floating like structures where water's falling off of it and turn it into like the world from
Like Avatar.
Avatar, and you're just running around and hunting down blue people.
That would be great.
It would be.
So yeah, they said it's part 1, so they're going to be doing more. But Rob is saying that they launched the update yesterday. So after we get done here, I'll go and try to download it, see if it's up, and if it is, great.
I will try
back
to
in.
get to it tonight, but Thursday's the big editing night, so it's hard to get to that stuff. But if I can, I also have the new Eminem album I want to listen to. I have it, so
I've listened to some of it, not all of it.
I'll turn that on and start playing some games.
I find it hard to do my job and listen to music at the same time. Like for some reason, I can't really do that. And because I don't commute, I don't listen to the radio as often. So I can't throw something on. So whenever I'm in the car, I'll throw it on. But if I have the kids, I definitely can't put this new one on. So I've had very little time to really kind of sit down and listen to it. From what I've heard, it's fun.
Whenever I'm working that doesn't involve
Concentration or listening to audio.
yeah, because most of my work is with headphones and audio editing, video editing, any of that kind of stuff. When I'm doing work that doesn't involve that, I have playlists where it's just like the standards catalog, the hit parade, that kind of stuff. Recognizable,
Or just
but
standards from the 50s.
something like that. But it's like Sinatra and
Right.
Lou Dobbs, Sha-na-na-na, all that plays in the background, and it's just nice. It sets the tone so that you can work and get other stuff done. But I hear you. All right, moving on. What's out right now for you to check out on Amazon Prime? Sausage Party Foodtopia. What is this?
So a couple years ago, remember they did that whole like R-rated cartoon about food coming to life? Yeah. So this is like a TV series based off that. It's on Amazon Prime. It's like 8 episodes. It looks terrible.
It does look terrible. Over on Paramount Plus, If. Mm-hmm. That's the imaginary friend movie with Ryan Reynolds? Okay.
Yep. I didn't expect that to be on there, and I was flipping through Paramount, and I was like, there it is. It's not like a rental. It's not anything. It's just there, so you can watch it.
Over on Netflix, Season 6, the final season, Part 1. I hate how they all do this now.
I'm so tired of that.
Cobra Kai. So it's 5 episodes. Are all 5 up there?
Yes.
Or are they doing a weekly thing? It's all 5.
No, they're gonna do all 5.
Okay, so I'll have that to watch. Ghostbusters Frozen Kingdom all of a sudden showed up on Netflix this past Monday. Or this Monday. This coming Monday. Yeah. I bought it as soon as it was made for digital. I went over on, well, it's not Vudu anymore. What is it now? It's
Fandango at home.
Right. Oh, by the way, the guy from who created Fandango passed away.
I forgot to add that in there too. Yeah,
I forgot about I just remembered that. But yeah, I bought it off Fandango. They had a sale as soon as it launched, so I have the digital copy for it. Over on Disney Plus, The Acolyte, the final episode came out Tuesday, right?
Yes.
All right, so that's available for you to check out. Over on HBO Max, Kite Man Hell Yeah started.
Hell yeah.
Is it one episode, 2 episodes? 2 episodes?
2 episodes, and I think they're going to do weekly like they did
got a lot
Harley
to
Quinn
watch this weekend now.
I know.
In theaters, as we do this show, the sequel to Twister called Twisters, and I've been seeing decent reviews for it.
Good reviews. I think IGN gave it an 8. I think it's tracking right now on Rotten Tomatoes at like 80 something, which, pretty high considering what the movie is about.
Right.
So, I mean, Glenn Powell is getting a lot of run. He's got this. He's going to be doing the Running Man remake. They're doing that. And apparently they're going to reboot Backdraft, and he's going to do a Backdraft remake. Which I don't see the need, but
look, Backdraft is not. I know that's a favorite movie for a lot of people.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. I don't think wasn't it a Ron Howard movie, Backdraft?
Ron Howard, right? Yeah. Kurt Russell's
It doesn't need a reboot.
No,
it doesn't.
Well, I don't know. The Universal ride was pretty cool. All the fire and shit.
And then also available on demand, Horizon Part 1.
Yep, that went right to video on demand, so you can check that out.
Didn't they cancel
Part 2?
Yeah, Part 2's canceled. Yep. But what was the other video game thing that they made? The Xbox series with Master Chief. Halo. Didn't they cancel that series?
Why do you got to read ahead, man? It's in there.
Line. Well, all right, spoilers! That shitty show was canceled that nobody liked.
Just keep scrolling. You'll see the story.
Wasn't that what the actor said? It's like, no, you guys don't. It's like, we're putting on a good show. You guys just
don't understand.
You don't understand the good show that we're putting on. Yeah, we do. You took his helmet off and ruined it for everybody.
Whole second season was without his fucking helmet.
Coming up next week, Deadpool and Wolverine. I got my ticket. I'm going to see that Friday morning. Over on NBC in the United States, plus the Peacock streaming platform will be the Olympic coverage as it starts live from Paris. And what else do we have here? Oh, that one's out of date. I can delete that. And season 12 of Futurama starts on Hulu next week. So look for that.
Looking forward to that one.
Moving on to the news. We talked about Inside Out 2 last week, making over $11 billion and being the fourth largest. It was the fourth largest animated movie of all time. It is now above Super Mario Brothers and Frozen 1.
It's below Frozen 2, above Mario Brothers and Frozen 1.
Yeah, Frozen 2 was the most grossing. Mm-hmm. Then it was Super Mario Brothers second. So this thing jumping up 2 spots to number 2, coming in. Where's those damn death photos? That's not how it goes, but it's funny to see that Casey Kasem wants to see the damn dog dying photos before doing his work. So now it's the number 2 animated movie of all time. Made a ton of money. Has earned another $578 million in North America.
Yep.
And $1.37 billion worldwide.
Yep.
Wow.
Pretty big.
Pretty big indeed. Emmy season is coming up in September.
Yeah.
And they started to make the announcements, so you're starting to see things pop up here and there about who's getting nominated and for what. I saw one of the first things I saw was Colbert getting all these nominations and CBS putting up these ads on social media saying congratulations to Colbert and whatever. But I'm looking at the categories and it's like all technical categories. It wasn't for the writing or the content of the show. It was lighting and stage direction and all this other shit. I'm like, great, get the awards where you can, but maybe the content, maybe a little bit. This one popped up, and everyone was pleasantly surprised. X-Men 97, if you're not familiar with that, it was a continuation of the popular animated series from the late 90s, now dubbed X-Men 97, continuing that storyline with the characters, most of the same voice talent and what have you. They got nominated for an Emmy for Outstanding Animated Program. Fantastic.
Yeah, what's cool about this is that they're going up against The Simpsons.
That's rough, but
I know.
I think they have a shot.
Well, and here's the thing, that X-Men 97, this new one, Blue-Eyed Samurai and Scavenger's Reign, they're all first-time nominees. The Simpsons is their 33rd nomination, and then Bob's Burgers has 13 nominations. So it's going up against two powerhouses with the Simpsons and Bob's Burgers, which is all under the same umbrella. So, I mean, they're all Fox Disney now, so everyone's going to get something. I mean, that's really cool. I think X-Men 97, the episode that they're pointing out is the one where, you know, Gambit has an unfortunate incident with the Sentinels.
Right.
That was the top rated episode. Everyone loves it, and that's what got them the nomination. It was pretty powerful.
Good on them. And they got another season coming because this season was insanely good.
Mm-hmm.
Keeping it in Marvel's corner of the world, it looks like they're bringing the Russo brothers back. Now, it's interesting because not too long ago, they were talking about how they would never have the Russo's brothers back. And then the Russos like, we'd never come back to do any of this stuff. Now, all of a sudden, a deal's being worked out.
I think the Russos wanted to separate themselves from that because originally they started off in comedy. They used to do directing and some writing for Community with Joel McHale and all that stuff. And that's where they kind of got their start. And then they started doing some of these adventure things with the Avengers and Captain America and did that. And they kind of wanted to go away from just the Marvel side of things. So they started their own company called like Agbo or something like that. Started producing movies, things like Everything Everywhere All at Once. They put out a few movies like The Gray Man and things like that for Netflix, signed this huge ordeal. And they just haven't been doing a lot of really high profile things because they just haven't been making money. So I think Disney wants to get back on track. They're going to start really kind of reining it in, trying to get more cohesive. And I think they're going to back the Brinks truck up to the Russo brothers and get them back for the Avengers movies.
I mean, it makes sense.
I would.
And they shouldn't complain. It's like, we were trying to do other things. Yeah, but if no one cares, entertainment's very fickle. If no one cares about the other things you were doing, do your passion projects, but make your money in the situations and the scenarios that they're going to pay you for, and people praise you for it. Just take your multi-million-dollar paychecks and live a good life. All right. Stop with your artistic integrity or my direction.
We don't care.
Bring Dr. Doom in, have him kill Kang, and then fuck shit up with the X-Men. That's all everybody wants to see at this point.
Yep.
So he'll be taking over the next two. They'll be taking over the next two Avengers movies that will be coming out, because we know one is just called 5. It was supposed to be Kang's Dynasty, but now it's just 5, and the other one is Secret Wars, right? Secret Wars. So there we go. All right.
Secret of the Ooze.
More Marvel stuff here since we mentioned Doctor Doom. What's this rumor with Doctor Doom?
So right now, the rumor that's making the rounds, and I've been kind of looking at it, and it's been hitting a lot of spots today. So there's this guy that does Jeff Snyder. We've covered him before. It's called
Zack Snyder. He ruined the DC universe.
Zack Snyder spreading the rumor of Doctor Doom. So with the rumors, well, not the rumors, but Russo's coming, Hollywood Reporter kind of reported on this as well, that they teased that Robert Downey Jr. might be in talks to coming back to the MCU, initially as an Iron Man variant. So if they're doing different worlds, different realities, you can bring back Tony Stark as Iron Man. But the rumor that's going around today, and it's been getting a lot of run, is that they're going to do a variant where he didn't become Iron Man. He becomes Dr. Doom.
No.
Yep.
No.
I hope that's not true because he's going to be the main villain of Secret Wars.
That sounds like, who is Doom?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that sounds like bullshit because you already showed his. Where's he from? Bolivia or something? His village. Remember
Something
they showed.
Like well, Latvia.
Latvia. They showed
Latveria. Sorry, excuse me.
They showed him. They showed his village in Loki.
Moon Knight.
But they showed it in Loki too, didn't they?
Yeah.
All right.
I think so. I think they
the end. It was in the end. It was that
Knight.
end scene at the end of Moon Knight, and then they had stuff with him with the Loki and the Time Agency stuff. Bring that character in. Don't make it a variant of something. Why do they jump right to the variants instead of initializing the original characters first? The original character, did he go to college with Tony Stark or something?
No, he went to college with Reed Richards.
Reed Richards, yeah. Something like that. Play off of that. You got Reed Richards coming into this thing too, which I don't know. The more I'm reading about that with this 1960s shit.
We'll see. And it's supposed to be mainly in space. Like it's supposed to be a space movie.
Remember when remember Josie and the Pussycats?
I love that movie.
They were just a band that was in the Archie's universe. And then all of a sudden they were on a spaceship and traveling around space and time, performing to the cosmos.
It's a good soundtrack.
Do that. Have the Fantastic Four have a band and weird space creatures that go into a giant phallic spaceship with them and they travel around the universe solving mysteries and playing concerts.
That'd be fun.
It would be fun. I really hope that's not the case with Robert Downey Jr. coming back.
I hope not.
Dr. Doom.
I hope not either.
But I'm going to
leave him
run
dead. Leave it be done. Like we don't need more Robert Downey. As much as I thought he did a great thing, he's a good actor. Let it lie. Like for once, just let this.
I'm not even
be
opposed to bringing him back if it's like in something epic, like the Avengers movie or some kind of crisis thing where they got to get a Tony Stark from a different universe. I'm not opposed to that for whatever they're going to do. This isn't the platform to do it.
No, don't make him Dr. Doom.
No,
like don't change the character that much.
Shut up, internet.
You're already bringing in a female.
We don't have the production ready for it yet, but have you tried shutting up?
Have you tried shutting up?
That's going to be a new segment that's coming. Jordan and I have been working on this. It's a new segment coming to the show. Have you tried shutting up?
Have you tried shutting up?
All right. Continue on. You take on the rest of the news here. I'll be right back. You take care.
So Warner Brothers is in the news again. Warner Brothers Discovery is looking to possibly split. So apparently they're not doing well with changing their streaming service 35 times and naming it Max. The parent company of CNN and HBO is reporting weighing a plan to split its digital streaming and studio businesses from its legacy television networks in order to boost its sinking share price. Just 2 years after they merged with Discovery and HBO. David Zaslav, who is running Warner Brothers Discovery, announced another round of layoffs this past week and slashed about 1,000 jobs. Examines several strategic options ranging from selling assets to spinning off the company's Hollywood studio, Warner Brothers, and its Max streaming service into a new company that isn't weighed down by the firm's heavy $39 billion debt load. This has been something that they've been constantly doing. They've been struggling ever since they merged. You've heard stories of them getting rid of film properties for tax write-offs, the Coyote versus Acme. You had the Batwoman movie. They just can't seem to get out of their own way. They're constantly doing layoffs. And now it looks like they may split off even more. And it's ridiculous. At some point, they're going to give over DC. Like they just have to. They're going to follow up with your prediction and DC is going to get gobbled up by maybe even Sony and get some of the rights over.
If you don't know what Jordan's talking about, I said this years ago on this show. It's up on our YouTube channel. You can go and find the video. I had a weird prediction that at some point, because we could see 10 years ago that DC was doomed to fail here with what they were doing. I said at some point, I think DC's going to be either traded or absorbed or bought flat out by Disney. And I think Disney would use the entire DC universe as a bargaining chip to Sony to say, give us all the Spider-Man stuff back and you can have the DC universe. Or they make some kind of compensation thing where they trade or whatever. It's like, you give us Spider-Man, we'll give you DC, and we'll call it a day. Now, as far-fetched as that was, and I admit I was just, talking out my ass there for that.
Just riffing.
As time has gone on, we're inching closer and closer to that may be a scenario that could happen. Because I think Sony would love to have their own. They're trying so hard, because Spider-Man had 1,000 characters or something in that universe that they were using, and they failed at every turn except Spider-Man, which was also overseen by Marvel Disney.
And they're just not done failing, because we still have
Venom
Kraven
3.
the Hunter, and we have Venom 3 coming.
I forgot all about Kraven. There's no buzz on Kraven. Kraven comes out at the end of August.
It was supposed to come out last November, and they pushed it.
Yeah, hold on. It comes out...
No second trailer, nothing about this movie.
Kraven comes out August 30th.
That's literally almost in a month, and I have not seen a second trailer, let alone any buzz about this movie being released. I don't think
unless they moved
it
it again, and I wasn't aware of it. I'm looking now.
I'll look it up, but I don't think they're releasing it in a month.
Release date. It got moved to December 13th.
They're gonna
see. I didn't even know that.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Sony doesn't care.
Yeah, this thing is gonna bomb. In October,
I think they moved it because of Venom. I think that's what happened.
Yeah, in October you have Venom, October 25th. You have that, and then in September starts Agatha All Along.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a mess. Warner Brothers, I don't know what's going to happen with that.
I saw somebody leaked a photo that they're turning some kind of convention hall in Cincinnati into the Justice League's.
Yeah, well, that's what because the Superman it originated in that area in Cincinnati, Ohio. So the Justice League Hall of Justice was modeled after that building. So even from like as early as like the 60s and 70s cartoons, had that same model. So they've been filming out there for the last couple months.
Then. Okay.
Yeah, so they're going to bring in the Hall of Justice. So
gotcha. All right. So Warner Brothers is a dumpster fire.
Pretty much.
We had mentioned over time. There's no real reason to get into this, but Josh Gad and Mel Brooks are going to be bringing a Spaceballs sequel to life.
I don't know if
we'll
it's
see
needed,
how that happens.
So mad about
this show that Jordan was telling me for like at least a week, maybe 2 weeks, to go and watch, that you were really enjoying it.
I was so into it.
Got canceled right after he told me to go watch it. Outer
I knew
Range.
this was going to happen.
Amazon Prime Video has opted out to renew the sci-fi neo-western drama Outer Range, starring Josh Brolin, for a third season. So you got 2 seasons, and I'm guessing it ends on a cliffhanger.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
There's more story. There's definitely more story. And
that ain't happening.
Nope.
That's all done.
And yeah. Again, this is my 1899 moment. Like I'm just gonna be like Giddles. I'm gonna be pissed off that Outer Range is not gonna get some kind of clarity and continuation.
The more this goes on, Giddles may not be wrong where he says, "I don't watch a show until I know the series is over," and then I know
at this point he might be right.
Yeah. Are you binging the season? No, I'm binging the series.
Yeah, I'm waiting.
You didn't wait for it? No, I waited for it to see if it was going to be canceled.
But it has 9 seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, but is it done? No? Okay.
This was from last week, right? The Zoe Kravitz
We
thing?
never talked about it, so I left stuff up that we can skip or whatever. But
she had a movie coming out. It's her directorial debut, which stars Channing Tatum and Naomi Aki. I don't know her. The title of the project, when it was first announced, was Pussy Island. But somewhere along the lines, it got changed to Blink Twice. And she was complaining, it was made very clear to me that pussy is a word that we, our society, are not ready to embrace yet. There was a lot of roadblocks along the way whether it be the MPAA not wanting to put it on a poster or a billboard or a kiosk, and movie theaters not wanting to put it on a ticket. Like, seriously?
Did you really think that was going to fly?
Idiot. You're like, well, we're just not there as a society. No one wants a fucking... Pussy Island is a porno title.
Right. No one's going to the theater to see
Lords of Acid song.
Oh, I love that. Fucking Lords of Acid.
One day we'll have a movie called Pussy Island. No, you won't. You just won't. It's not going to happen. Area 51, single camera comedy at the works for CBS. That alone, that headline just tells you it's terrible.
Right.
Not even
the second part of that makes it sound even worse.
Right.
It's a half-hour workplace comedy. I'm like, oh fuck. They're gonna be like, what happens when you're working at Area 51? Do. I'm like, okay. I don't know what they're doing.
At the time of this episode going out, Weird Al has a brand new song available for you to go and check. He announced that he's releasing the new song and video this Friday. Comes 10 years after his last studio album and 2 years after the release of his semi-autobiography, which included many of his classics as well as Weird Al's last new song called Now You Know, which played over the credits. That last album he did where he looks like a Russian communism propaganda thing. So we had him on the show to promote that album, and I have it. So I'm like, there's very few people that I've met in my life that I've really were like, oh my god, this is amazing, and Weird Al is one of those people. He's
such a nice guy.
He signed that album for me, which by the way became his only #1 album.
Which is so weird.
His other albums did well, but they never hit #1 on all the charts. That one did. So he signed that. He also was doing a story with Mad Magazine. Could you believe that was still around? And did a cover. He had cover art with that. So I got the Mad Magazine. He signed that. He signed the album. And on my studio wall over here, it's one of the first albums I ever bought as a little kid. It's Weird Al's Even Worse. And he signed that for me too. That is framed. That is hanging on my wall. That is something that if the house goes on fire, I make sure the kids out.
Maybe get the kids.
Photo albums and that Weird Al album are all going out there. I will risk my life for that.
I remember, I think, buying Running with Scissors at like a Warehouse Music.
Yeah.
Like the CD. I'm like, oh, this is so good.
I stole a ribbon of those lifetime guarantee stickers from a store called The Wall. Mm-hmm. And I would get my CDs, and if they were broken, I had the sticker, so I just throw the sticker onto the casing, and you bring it back. It had a lifetime replacement guarantee. Mm-hmm. So if the CD broke or anything happened to it, I just threw the sticker on the casing and brought it back. So I bought this a while ago. I don't want anything new. I just want to replace it. And they go, okay, and they'd replace the album for me. Shame that they're not in business anymore, but yeah, That was the thing. I used to just throw the wall stickers on all my CDs, and if they were scratched or damaged, get them fixed. It's a good way to scam a company out of business. Al had teased last year, I don't think I'll do another conventional album. The soundtrack came out last year for that movie with Harry Potter. I can't think of his name.
Daniel
Radcliffe playing Weird Al, which was very good, by the way.
I thought it was so funny.
Everyone's like, this doesn't make any sense. Al's like 6'5", and Daniel Radcliffe is 5'6". So it doesn't make any sense, but you go and you watch it, and it's like, yeah, this whole thing was really good. So yeah, he was like coming up with an idea. If it's good enough, I want to get it out immediately, and now I can because I'm not beholden to contracts of a business model anymore. So now, yeah, I guess he owns all his own stuff. So whenever he has a new song, he just put it out there, and into the lexicon it goes. There was a documentary for Prince, which got delayed due to factual inaccuracies. What is this?
So there was a 6-part Prince documentary set up for Netflix, and it got put, they're calling it dead in the water after representatives for the late artist's estate claimed a first cut of the film was filled with, quote, dramatic factual inaccuracies and sensationalized renderings of certain events from his life. Sources close to the situations tell Variety. Yeah, so basically they were supposed to do 6 one-hour episodes, and they delivered 9 hours, a violation of the agreement that presumably enabled the estate to withhold music rights. And then they're basically saying, well, you can't really do a Prince documentary without his music. So they kind of put it on hold. So he made a lot of liberties with Prince's life, and the estate got pissed, and they're very litigious because I mean Prince didn't even put any how Garage Guitar Hero and all these bands started, they put all these games out. Prince was notorious against ever putting his catalog on there because people always wanted, why don't we put a Prince song on here? He came out and said, no, if you want to learn how to play my music, play music. Like,
face melting when doves cry.
Exactly. So,
awesome.
So as far as that stuff goes, they're very litigious in protecting that estate. So,
all right.
They didn't like some of the stuff.
We'll have to wait on that. And we're going to end with some Xbox world news here. We had mentioned Halo got canceled by Paramount.
Wait, what?
So, that was a shit show, and, Xbox owns that property, so that's going bye-bye. This has been the thing that people are rumbling about, is that they're raising the price of Game Pass. Can you tell us what this is?
So they're going to be raising the price of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate in September alongside a new standard subscription that doesn't include any day one access to first-party games. So right now their big thing is, okay, we got all these big games, day one access. The second it comes out, there's a streaming version. You get it because you pay for the subscription. Well, now they're going to say, well, you can pay a little bit less, but you don't get that option, which is kind of shitty. They basically came out and warned of the price increase from $20 a month. That's increased to $20 a month that starts September 12th.
From $16.99, yeah.
It's a $3 increase from the service. They're moving away from the $9 to a $12 per month and maintaining access to the day one titles. So you're still getting it's like a tier system that they're doing more. So like you get Ultimate.
The $9 that's moving to $12, what does that entail?
That is like a kind of mid-tier one. So it's a little bit less, but you don't get some of the some of the benefits of it. I'm not trying to read it. I'm trying to talk about it. And then you've got the PC Game Pass subscribers are going to get a price hike in September, with the service moving from $10 to $11. Oh, that's what it was. It was the PC. I read one sentence in them. So the PC's going from a 9 to 12.
Right.
And you're going to get the day one. So the PC's cheaper than the console version, which doesn't make sense. But PC will be a little bit cheaper.
That's what I was trying to figure out. I was asking around, and people didn't really have that good an answer for me. But I guess this kind of answers it a little bit. Because I have the Ultimate Game Pass, which allows you to do the PC stuff and the console stuff. And I haven't gotten a console in years. The one I have is still Xbox One. And the only reason that's hooked up is because that's the only way I can play GTA 5. Because I can't transfer my game stats and everything over. Rockstar got rid of that option in their social club where you were able to move it from console to PC or PC to console. Migrate over. They eliminated that in 2016, so almost 8 years ago. So now if I want to play GTA 5, which you're like, wow, you're going to play that game? Yeah, I know it's 30 years old, but sometimes you want to go on there and just fuck up everybody else's.
You were doing that the other night.
Good time. So I got to stream the console onto the PC in order to play it and do everything else. But you need to have the Ultimate Pass in order to do that. So what I was looking at is, I don't give a shit about those day one streaming things because there's very few games that I'd be like, oh my God, day one, I need to stream that game. Is it worth it out there? If you know it, hit me up on social media or email or any of that stuff. Let me know. Is the PC Pass the way to go now? Yes, it's cheaper, but what am I losing if I do the PC Pass?
Talking about it, I just realized what you're losing.
What am I losing?
You will lose the online capability of the Xbox version, so you won't be able to play GTA online.
That's minor. That's a minor issue.
Yeah, but isn't what you do all online based? Like fucking around with people, you're not playing the story. You're doing multiplayer.
If I have to turn on the fucking Xbox and go that way, I can do that too.
That's what I'm saying, though. The Xbox, you will lose the ability to play online with the Xbox. Because if Ultimate is tied in to be Xbox,
I see what you're saying. So the console won't have any access to the game.
The console won't have access to the online.
Even though I own the physical game?
Yeah, but you have to pay for the online service.
Oh, that's right. That's what we're paying for. So I have internet. I need to pay for internet service in order to get my Xbox on and pay for their service to connect to their network.
Yep.
So
That's
what
it was.
If I switch to the PC pass, then I can't even play it all the hard copy off of my Xbox One.
Now you'll get Sea of Thieves. You can play on the PC. You got your PC version Sea of Thieves, all your other stuff there on the PC. But if you're loading up your console,
I mean, I can play GTA 5 on the PC, but I just don't have my stuff saved.
You'll lose all your stuff from the console version.
Yeah.
That's what you're losing. I know we talked about it the other night, and now that we talked about it out loud, it made sense. You'll lose the ability to get online with the console.
Well, if it wasn't for GTA 5, I'm not buying another console. Like I think I'm 2 generations behind anyway, and that with the Xbox One, because they had the XS and now they have whatever else that they have now. So yeah, I'm a bit behind on the console stuff. I don't need the consoles between the Game Pass and I know Rob said this too, but between that and Stream Deck, and I have the EA access. Do I lose that with the PC gaming thing? Do I lose the EA access to it?
I don't think so, because that might be tied into the PC stuff. Like I said, the only thing you're losing is console access.
Yeah. All right, I'll have to investigate.
And if you're not playing that anymore, then
I'll have to investigate, because I may just drop it down from $20 to $12. Not that that's a problem. I just don't need to pay for like the top tier of everything if I'm not using the service that way.
You're paying $7 extra a month to play a game every couple months,
right? And
that's what you're paying for.
I think because I keep getting deals I haven't paid for not Game of Thrones, Sea of Thieves, because I always had it with the Game Pass. They keep sending me offers to buy it dirt cheap, so I might as well just buy the game and drop it down to PC, make it easy.
Well, you don't even have to buy the game. Again, the PC version.
No, I want to have the game because then I can, if I go on Stream Deck, I have the game. You know what I'm saying? If I own the game, I can get my stats and stuff by playing the Steam version. Oh,
you're going to play Steam instead?
No, I'm saying if I had to for some reason, whatever.
Okay.
Owning the game, I have my information for the game.
I bought the digital version of Sea of Thieves for the Steam Deck, so I can play on the Steam Deck instead of on my Xbox. So yeah, I see. I have it 2 different ways as well. So
Big Red Tower in the chat saying, see if there's a way to suspend the service, then you can easily turn it on and off when needed. I don't think it's that kind of commitment that you can. Like if I cancel,
if you're going month to month, you can easily drop down to a different tier, or you can upgrade to a different tier if you do a month to month. If you're paying on a yearly basis,
I think I might have to drop to a month to month, because I think I'm set to renew in September, I think, for my Game Pass, and by then I think it said something like it's $240 for the year.
Yeah. When it comes down to it,
yeah. So it's like, what the fuck? Why am I spending almost $250 to subscribe to a streaming service for only maybe a couple games that I play all the time? Yeah. So I might have to do that and just say, oh well, I guess I'm done with GTA 5 and let it be.
Yeah. Well, you can also do so now.
I'm not going to make that mistake next time when 6 comes out. I'm just getting the PC version. I'm not buying a console.
Well, you're going to have to wait.
I know, 26 or something.
Well, remember we talked about it earlier. The PC option's coming after consoles. So
right, that's what I'm saying.
Have it probably over 6 months before you'll get it.
Yeah, that's what I said. 2026 for the PC thing. Yeah, I don't know if it's worth buying a console to play GTA 6 for a few months before it comes on the PC.
Right. On top of all this stuff that they're doing, they're adding another option to the Game Pass. It's going to be the standard subscription. It won't include day one titles, so you won't be getting like Call of Duty 6 or any of that stuff.
I don't care.
They're going to price that at $15 a month. Game Pass console subscription will continue for existing subscribers, but new Game Pass subscribers won't be able to even select the console option starting this past July 10th. Before we went on, I found something. There has been an update to all this. The FTC filed a court brief just, I think, within the day, stating that Microsoft's price increases.
FTC is the Federal Trade Commission, if you don't know.
Product degradation combined with Microsoft's reduced investments in output and product quality via employee layoffs basically are their hallmarks of a firm exercising market power post-merger. So what they're saying is, because the second they merged officially with Activision Blizzard, they kind of cornered the market on a lot of these titles.
Right.
And so they're not going to put enough money into existing product, charge more, and the FTC doesn't like that. So
yeah, when you have the majority control and then you do less.
Because they can. They have the market.
That becomes a problem. So essentially, the FTC won't let them be or let me be me, so let me see. They try to turn them down on Xbox PC, but it'll feel so empty without me.
Well, if you drop your stuff, yeah, they'll lose your money. So
All right.
So we'll see that to be a big issue coming up. I'm just gonna keep with what I've got, but yeah, it's a problem.
All right, we need to get out of here. We are done for today. So as always, it is plug time. And Jordan, the RNC's over, so the nation's eyes are turning to you.
Finally. I do another show called the I'll Watch It Later podcast where we talk about movies that yes, I'm moonlighting.
Are you Bruce Willis or the other one?
If I learned how to stop
Sybil
talking,
Shepherd.
then yes, I'll be Sybil Shepherd. So you catch us on YouTube, I'll Watch It Later podcast. New episode is up at Watch It Later Pod on Instagram. We talk about movies that we've seen, stuff that we've done. Eric pointed out that we don't even talk about movies for the first hour. So come check out our concert.
It took over an hour before you even got to the movie. So
yeah, so we talked about the Maltese Falcon eventually, but yeah, come check us out. We're fun. Ish.
It does sound it. All right, I guess it's my turn now. So I got to sit up and act right because there's an audience here. Thank you, everybody, for listening to the show. We do appreciate us. We do appreciate us. We do appreciate everything that Jordan and I put into this. But then also you, the viewer, the listener, the subscriber. We kind of appreciate what you're doing as well. It kind of helps us keep going and doing what we're doing outside of iHeart. If you're listening on their app, that's great. That helps us out. We do appreciate that. If you're listening to us on Apple and Spotify, other places like that and on demand that allows you to do a review, do us a kindness. Go over there, leave us a positive review. That does help out the program. And if you want to join us live each and every week as we do said program, hop into our live rooms on Twitch and on YouTube, both under It's Eric Nagel. And if you want to see the video version of the show, if you were on audio and you didn't hear, you want to see some of the stuff that was going on, produced episodes immediately, well, maybe a day after the show is done, show up on our YouTube channel. You can go there and you can subscribe, watch all of that stuff. I do also want to point out that I think we're going to start this subscription service on the Netflix, on the YouTube channel, hopefully before the summer's over. We're going to put a lot of the old archives, from when the show was on satellite. Well, the celebrity interviews, all of that stuff, we're going to put that up on the channel, but that'll be behind the paywall. And then we're going to try to figure out some other things to do besides the show once a week, some other kind of content, whether it be a Jordan solo thing. Maybe we can highlight your other podcast up on there. We do some special one-off programs. The consumer will definitely be available. That'll still remain to be free. The past episodes, I have so many episodes we still haven't put up because everything else has been happening. I dropped the ball with the consumer stuff. That's all on me. I'm just going to release every episode that we have all at once.
Just drop
it all there to catch up because I was like, nah, I'm not going to wait to eventually catch up anymore. Everything will go up.
We did a new episode 2 weeks ago. I have boxes of stuff.
I've got tons of stuff still we have to get to. So all that will get out there. We'll let you know about those changes as it warrants.
We do our ramen show. That's going to be awesome.
Yes, we have that coming.
Gross.
The posters for the 10th anniversary show, they are all spoken for. We're going to talk to see about doing a second run, but thanks to everybody that wrote in some way, shape, or form asking for a poster, we're going to get them out, I think, next week. And do us a kindness there as well. If you get the poster, throw it up on social media, tag us, and we'd love to see that you got it and make sure everything arrived unscathed. All right, I think that's it. We got to get out of here. So until the next time, everybody,
be excellent to each other.
And we'll be seeing you.
It's Eric Nagel.
So in closing, I've only got one question to ask you, maniacs. What you gonna do when Hulkamania runs wild on you, brother?
Alas, we're out of time.
Follow It's Eric Nagel on social media platforms. For ways to watch and listen to the show, or join us for the live shows, head over to itsericnagel.com. Yo, and remember to tell 2 friends so they can tell 2 friends, they can tell 2 friends, they can tell 2 friends, they can tell 2 friends. You get the idea.
Keep it real, homies.